Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show today. Very happy to have you here. Hopefully, everybody had themselves a good weekend. I was busy. I spent 4 hours dealing with a phone. Yes, you heard it right. I have a phone now for the first time in 15 years.
Oh no, he's finally caught up with the world.
Yeah. Well, I had one before, but I decided to change away from the tablet, and I got myself that really nice laptop, that ROG Flow Z13. Go check them out; those things are really good. But I needed to have a hotspot, right? A Wi-Fi hotspot. So the easiest solution for me was just to get a phone. I mean, I have the phone if I need it, which I don't. And of course, I usually communicate with line, so it was the easiest solution. However, Thundero, who is now the Thunderous Sheik. I see what
That's
you
right.
did
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh, I spent 4 hours. Get a goddamn hotspot. 4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
Why 4 hours? Why did it take 4 hours precisely?
Oh, because they have to constantly sell everything, and then you're getting a phone. Therefore, it's about equivalent to getting a house, and you're gonna have 168 pages of documentation, which the person has to go through every line of course, and underline and make sure you understand it. Ooh, I hope
Fun
it's not like that in
stuff.
America, dude. I mean, you get a phone over there, it's probably just what, 30 minutes.
It depends. Depends on what kind of salesman you get, but I don't usually. Phone salesmen are, well, they're scum. I don't much like them. In America, because in America, I don't know what it's like over there, but phones are outrageously expensive here.
Oh yeah,
Um, and there's no reason for them to be. Like you're paying $1,200, $1,800 somewhere in there for a brand new one,
I spent
and
$200.
there's no yeah, exactly. There's no excuse other than they can get away with it. And these phone salesmen will still try to upsell you like crazy, and it's just they're
Oh
worse than
no, they
car
do.
salesmen.
They do that. Of course they do that. And of course the main problem was is I kind of let my wife do it. That was probably a
Yeah.
mistake. But no, I got myself a Xperia Ace 3. It's just
Oh
fine for
boy.
what I need. I like Sony.
Yeah, especially in Japan, it's kind of a nice to have.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean,
You got
I
home.
don't need expensive. I just need a Wi-Fi hotspot, right?
Yeah.
And it's 5G, which I hadn't had before. So, but yep, got a phone, and I'm curious if I'll ever actually use it.
Probably not much. Well, you might. I don't know. You can get Discord on there and actually be on there sometimes if you want. Can
Oh
do can
well,
do can do out and about streams while you're on the phone.
it doesn't have much of a camera. I mean, I would have had to pay the $1,000 for the good. I mean, Sony does have the best cameras, but well, I just needed a hotspot, so I got, I could have just got a Wi-Fi Robin, but it
Sure.
was same price, and this at least gives me a phone number, so why not, right? But yeah, it's been about
Yeah,
15 years since I've had a phone, though.
that's interesting.
Feels weird.
See, I'm kind of going your way. I really don't like cell phones. I
No, they
actually
suck.
quite
Yeah,
despise them.
yeah,
Um, because I grew up in an era before they were widely implemented, and obviously so did you. And I just don't like having it. I don't like people having constant access to me. I don't like having constant access to everything else. It's the only times where I'm glad I have a cell phone, besides emergencies, of course,
uh-huh.
are when I'm on the toilet, so I have something to read instead of a newspaper or something. That's about it. That's about the breadth and
Yeah,
the width of it.
I've never needed to read anything on a toilet. I never understood the concept of that. I've seen it in movies. I've heard about it. I don't get it. Why do people read on the toilet?
Well, because sometimes you're in there for a little while and you want to do something to occupy your mind besides thinking about poop.
Why would you be in there for a while?
Sometimes it takes a minute.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And other times you just want to be alone. It's a nice place to be alone.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I have an office for that.
Yeah.
Dave
Well, so do
says,
I now.
yeah. Dave says that that's what comics are for, dude. Yeah, he's correct. He says, you talk about, Dave was also talking about payphones. I don't know about in America, but here, we still have payphones everywhere. It's actually mandated by law.
That's
And
good.
yeah, no, it's fine. I had heard that in New York that they turned the payphones into, uh, Wi-Fi service, right?
I
And
need um I need somebody to explain to me, and especially in like cities like New York where there's absolutely no excuse for this,
yeah,
why cell phone or not cell sorry, pay phones couldn't just be converted into like little cell phones that don't move them, and they're free, and you just pick it up and call emergency services, whoever you want to call.
yeah,
We know for a fact that these companies absolutely rake us over the coals,
hmm,
because you can go to other countries, like even European countries, even first world countries, and pay a fraction for phone service that you
oh
can
yeah,
in America.
that's true. Not
Uh,
here, but yeah, that is true.
yeah, and that's just, to me, it's unacceptable that we're all, honestly, the government should be the ones to say, hey, what the hell? Why is it so much cheaper here and not over here? There's no reason other than they can get away with it, and they shouldn't be allowed to get away with it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just pure, nothing but pure greed.
Yeah, no, it is, and of course that's one of the reasons we have it's the penny pinching. They're making more money these big corporations than ever before, and Ben is
Yep.
upset that I'm judging his poop. Sorry about that. Uh, but one of the weirder things, he was sitting there talking to my wife, and my wife being a woman and all, right?
Yep.
He was talking about how many months, because that's one of the things they do here in Japan. How many months would you like to distribute the $200 out over? And they were talking about 24 or 36 months. And my wife was
For two
contemplating it.
hundred dollars.
And I'm like, I looked sideways at her. I took out my wallet, took $200 and put it on the table. I ended the conversation.
Yeah, that's silly. I mean,
It's
if
like,
if you
jeez.
absolutely don't have $200, fine. But I think you have bigger problems than a cell phone if you can't scrounge together $200.
Well, I mean, it's also, dude, I'm sitting here with a brand new laptop in my hand trying to make sure I can make it compatible. I drove it in a freaking sports car, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're both of us decked out in, certain middle class look. What, I mean, that's embarrassing, dude.
The poor guy probably has to do it that way though. He's probably taught that way,
Oh no, I'm
trained
not
that
mad
way.
at him. I'm not mad at anybody, but I'm saying it's the woman in her,
Hmm.
right? The coupon
Well,
lover.
that just means she loves you. That's all.
That's fine. I don't mind. I usually stay out of the money stuff, but I just was like, huh?
Because if she didn't, she would just spend your money and wouldn't care. But
Oh
she
no,
doesn't
no, yeah,
because she
no.
cares about you.
She, and she has her own money involved as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she's good with money. But it was just a silly thing, dude. And it's weird
Yeah.
because I never that money. I have a few $100s in the wallet that's literally folded up and put in a pocket just for emergency use. I never use
Hmm.
cash, right? But I used it. There was an emergency. It was a 36-month emergency.
It's outrageous behavior.
It is.
Uh, so my wife's been in here. The reason why I didn't pop in a little sooner is my
Uh,
wife's in here right now. And she's watching the third Fantastic Beast movie because we watched it in theaters when it came out,
uh,
and mainly just because there was literally nothing else in theaters,
yeah,
and we
sure.
wanted to see a movie. And I like the first two. I know Harry Potter fans don't much like them, but I find them find them fine. And
I didn't
what does
care
that
for
look
him.
for? I just got a real dirty look for some reason. Uh, and it's fine. I still think it's fine. I think these movies are fine. I think the problem is the first three Harry Potters, especially, have this aura about them, like classic Disney movies almost, where they're just
Yeah,
like
instant classic.
instant
Yeah.
classics, and nobody wants to touch that. But the ones after those ones are, some of them are still pretty good, but they're not at that level of those first three. And I think that's one of the reasons why these movies are so derided, because it's not
Uh,
like,
yeah,
I mean, J.K. wrote this movie. She wrote
yeah,
it
yeah,
herself
yeah.
directly. So,
I think I can answer, at least from my point of view, why it's derided.
mm,
Um, because I'm not a Harry Potter fan. My kids are. I read the books to
mhm,
them. We saw all the movies. That's perfectly their generation, right? They're the same age as those kids. And my daughter has like several full hard collections, different hardbound, and she adores it, right? So I know Harry Potter really well because I actually read the books to them, right? And so, but I'm not a Harry Potter fan. I respect the work though. I mean, she's kind of a annoying feminist, and I don't really like her attitude or her ideas. But I respect her writing ability because she's a capable writer. I mean, I've read a lot of stuff, and she's pretty solid,
yep,
right?
she
Uh,
is. She's a fantastic lore builder and world
yeah,
builder too.
yeah. I think
Fantastic.
I like her thinking on her construction of her made up words, and she has many
Yep.
clever moments, many, right? So I give credit where credit is due to J.K. Rowling. But here's the thing. Fantastic Beasts. The problem with that movie, I didn't watch the other two because I didn't like the first one, so why bother? So I just and my wife didn't care, my kids didn't care. So that tells you a lot because they're big fans and
Mm,
they didn't want nothing to do with it. But I'd say for me, the problem with the first movie was they were trying to tell two stories at the same time and they failed.
mm, mhm,
I mean, that's about it. I mean, that they were really they had two very distinct stories that they were trying to tell, and they didn't do it correctly. I think if you can do it correctly, but they didn't. If they had stuck to telling one story at a time, I think it would have been way better. A lot of the little, niggling uh, complaints that people have, I didn't really care. I thought
mhm.
Red was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, but for me, it was just they bit off more than they could chew was the problem.
Mm. Well, I would recommend if you ever get the chance, watch the second one. I think the second one's the best one.
Yeah,
Um, Johnny Depp's performance as Grindelwald, which we were robbed of in the third one because of that whore, um, and WB being Cucks, was phenomenal. He plays a
he usually
perfect,
is.
charismatic cult of personality villain, which is what Grindelwald is in that movie. You know, he's winning people over with promises and sweet little sweet little things in their ears and telling them what they want to hear type stuff. And that type of seductive villain isn't done very often anymore, right? They're very rarely like that.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
and
Yeah.
unfortunately, Mads just doesn't. Mads just kind of isn't that guy, right?
No,
He's not
he's
that
the
kind
other
of
type,
villain. Yeah.
and he's great at
So
that.
it's
Yeah.
the real juxtaposition between the movies, especially when you see them back to back.
Oh yeah, I get
Um,
that. I love Mads, but
so that's
he's
it.
not that kind.
It's a
Johnny is
shame
though.
that that happened. Yeah,
Yeah,
Johnny
he's
I think he
perfect at
kills. It's
that
one of his best
effeminate
performances.
fairy
Yeah.
type of movement, and he's got the gaze for the Dumbledore, right?
Yes. Yeah, they are
Sweet.
apparently former gay lovers.
Aw.
Yeah.
Oh, they had a falling out.
That big old
The
falling
o
out. Yep.
yeah, the only thing I've heard about second and third one, I don't know which one it was in, that I thought was interesting. The only thing I thought was interesting was the origin of Nagini. I thought that was cool.
That is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was
Not bad.
interesting. Yeah. But
No, I think I honestly
one day maybe.
I think it's gonna what's gonna happen with those movies as people get away from them, they're
Yeah,
gonna get more and more liked. And the reason I think that is because aside from I agree with you, the first one's the story's a little bit but they were trying to do like you said, trying to do too much. I think that's probably
yeah,
correct.
yeah,
Uh the world building that they add to those, kind of like how the prequels, right? The prequels for Star Wars, our generations aren't in love with them. In fact, your generation hates them mostly. My generation is okay with them typically, but the generation after us, after me, loves them. That's their Star Wars. They're in. They love those movies. I think you're going to see something similar to that.
yeah, maybe.
And the reason I do is because the world building is really really good, and they've implemented a lot of the stuff from these movies, which is also the Fantastic Beasts book. into other media. Like the game has a lot of the same beasts and things and animals in it and
Yeah.
stuff. So I think you're going to see that as time goes on, they'll be elevated more because of the audience that they
Yeah,
had
maybe.
now,
Yeah.
younger
Uh,
audience.
I know I went into I had the kids with me when we went to see it. I was like, "Oh, cool, more Harry Potter, right?" So
Yep.
it's not like you don't have a desire for it. I know she's doing a new series with HBO. I don't know what she's doing with it, but
Yep.
she is very capable, and not only is she a good writer, but she is extremely business savvy. So it's too bad that she's such a loud, annoying human because I'd love to love her, right?
Yep.
But it's hard, man. So many of these people who are skilled, they just have such radical flaws. We don't get that many Tolkiens, you know, who was an amazing writer, an incredibly intelligent, kind man, open-hearted, good teacher. I mean, I can't think of a negative thing to say about the man.
Um, Neither can I off top. I'm sure if I thought about it, I'd come up with something. But the reason is, Chester, is because I know the atheists out there aren't going to like to hear this, but they're not Christians anymore. Not even culturally. They don't
Oh,
even
well,
pretend
maybe. Yeah,
anymore.
that's true. There's
And that lack of moral unity
yeah.
means that they don't have to have that same veneer of
Yeah,
at least attempting to appear as
there is
virtuous
value
people.
there. That's true.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, everything you hear about Tolkien from his kids and everybody around him, he was just a great human. I mean,
Well, one of the most charitable, generous, brilliant men of the last century was his best friend. So there must have been something there
all
with
right.
C.S. Lewis.
You don't think that Tolkien was a good man, Ben? I don't believe that. Maybe he's laughing at your need for
He's probably
Christianity.
laughing at the cultural Christianity.
Well,
Um,
no,
I mean,
Ben knows that
it's
he and I
undeniable
are
they were.
similar in thinking, but I think of all the Abrahamic religions, I think the Christians have serious cultural value, actually.
Yeah. And it
But
was. I mean, think about it. You just said it. Tolkien, and obviously C.S. Lewis, and among a myriad of others, of either deeply Christian, like C.S. was, um, definitely, very Christian. I would say Tolkien was, but he wasn't as evangelical about it.
well, he was a little
Um,
bit more Church of England, wasn't he?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and or all the way back into your 1800s, your 1700s, and these obviously some of which were very devout and some of which were just culturally Christian. I mean, all of the greatest
Chaucer.
artworks, by and large, yeah, they came from these sorts of people. That doesn't mean that they were all like Bible thumpers or whatever,
Oh
but they
no,
were
far
still
from it.
were in a very culturally Christian ethos, a morality that comes
Sure.
from the church and from Christianity. I think that's one of the main reasons why. I think there was a lot of neutrality simply because there was uniformity, right? So it was easier to put down your sword against a brother than it is against people who you basically share nothing with except for you live in a land that's similar.
You can
And
blame
that's not
Charlemagne for that.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
not much. Like there's a lot of people anybody can live somewhere, right? That doesn't really that doesn't really mean anything at the
Yeah,
end of
but I
the
mean,
day.
the Catholic Church actually was probably on its way out, and Charlemagne reinvigorated it for eternity.
Yeah,
I
prick.
don't know how I feel about it. I'm conflicted.
He was a pretty great guy, though. He again, we talked about this before, but
He
for
was
some reason,
uber religious.
he's the guy who's just kind of left out. Like, we
Charlemagne?
talk about like really great people, great conquerors, great whatever. He was kind of all of it. He was into the sciences. He was big on education. He was big on conquest. Obviously, like he was almost an Augustus, if you will. I mean, they did crown him such. Uh, in the way that he
Well,
kind of went full throttle, if you catch my meaning. Like he wanted to make sure that there was art and there was culture, and obviously he wanted to conquer everything as he did. Um,
well,
and he just kind of gets
not really. but
left
okay.
off that conversation. It's
Yeah,
very
no, no, I
strange to
get it.
me.
Of course, Charlemagne, for those of you who don't know who we're talking about, is King Charles the Great of France,
Yeah.
is what Charlemagne means. And he, yeah, no, I mean, he did have some successes, but he also had a lot of failures, particularly in Spain. Keep in mind, it was after him
Yep.
that they drove the damn Moors out.
Took
And
a long time. They got it done.
But in general, most of what you said, I agree with. He was really wanted to create a cohesive culture, cohesive nation,
Yes.
right, throughout. And he was extremely devout, and he was really
Yes.
important for kind of. I don't know. If this is another thing. Is it good or bad? But he also destroyed the old Merovingian ways, right? And then, of course, with
Mm,
him, we come into the Carolingians, right? And all of
yes.
their debauchery. But the Merovingians, the way that they did things just wasn't, especially with secession. When a father would die, all the kids got a piece, and the lands are broken up amongst them.
Hmm.
And there's no way for a future empire in that with that kind of thinking. And of course,
Right.
the Carolingians were able to, bring into the idea of, empire. They're the ones that, and of
Well,
course, they did a lot of evil shit, right?
everybody's been chasing that darn wreath,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
damn Roman non throne, because they didn't have a throne, but that's what we call it. Since the fall of the Western Empire, and he was. I mean, you can make arguments for other people, I guess, but he was actually crowned as Caesar Augustus in Rome
Well, no,
by the
he
Pope.
was, yeah, yeah, and he's the one that solidified the Catholic Church as well. So I mean, the
Yep.
Catholic Church and all the power it came in the centuries after it, you can thank Charlemagne. He did that.
But
Um,
I
uh,
just think it's interesting that for whatever reason, I mean, people know of him obviously, but for whatever reason, he's not talked about in the same level as Alexander, even though he was far more successful.
oh no,
That in the same
he's
level
definitely more
as
successful than Alexander. That's true. Yeah, Alexander's a
same
weird
level
one,
as
isn't it?
August as
I would
Caesar. Yeah,
not
he
put you.
he
You
gets a
said
lot
that
of
twice
praise.
now, and I'm going to have to disagree. I would not put him in the same category as Octavian. Octavian was a
No,
true gem of an
he was.
individual.
Oh no, he's absolutely the best of all time. I just mean comparatively, compared to most other people who attempted what Charlemagne succeeded at,
Yeah, yeah,
I would
yeah.
say he was the
I get what
closest.
you're saying.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
I
Yeah,
certainly put him in the top of my conversations with with that kind of person. But
yeah,
Octavian was a whole another animal.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
the entirety of our modern government is coming from him. The
yeah.
idea
He
of
was.
how to break up a country, how to form a nation, just everything we have today is coming from Augustus.
Yeah. What would you? Where would you put? Because he gets a lot of he gets maligned, and probably rightfully so. But he was a great man, no doubt. Where would you put Napoleon on that list of these
Oh,
European
I
conquerors?
would put him in the Alexander list, because
Yeah,
the thing with the reason why Charlemagne is certainly better than Alexander without any I don't there's no argument, is
I
that
agree.
Alexander was just a conqueror. That's all he was.
Yes,
He was nothing
that's right.
more, and he was just stupidly successful for a man under
And
the age of
horny.
30.
Yeah,
And but as soon as he died, it collapsed. So
yeah,
and if you look at, he didn't really win that many battles. He didn't.
correct.
If you can go and look at all the things Alexander did, and you'll wonder to yourself, why is he so revered throughout history? And I think it's just his youth, and the just people still can't believe that he obliterated the Persian Empire, even though it was this old
Yeah,
dog long in the tooth, right?
yep.
They just can't believe the accomplishments of such a young man. I think that's why. But he's beyond being a conqueror. He's nothing else.
Well, and a lot of that. I mean, he was very young when he started his campaigns,
Extremely young. Yeah.
and a lot of that was the success of those campaigns was a lot from his dad. His dad had laid a lot of groundwork for him, and he just kind of took the ball running and
Oh yeah.
did what he
His
did.
dad was already setting up to do it. Um,
Yeah,
and that's probably what got him poisoned. It wasn't, a lot of people's like, did Alexander kill his daddy? It's all this kind of stuff, but or did his mother? We don't know, but of course, I would say the actual main candidates would be, the Persians, right?
Probably
Because
that
he
would
was
make
building
sense.
up an army to destroy them, and all Alexander did was take that army,
Yes.
regain control of the Greek states first, and then just walked into Persia and started kicking ass. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what he did. His father did
Bunch of
all the prep work.
nomads stomping out, basically bandit armies. That's what he was stomping out
He dealt with
in
many
Persia
of those.
before he.
He did have several
Yeah.
times where he did face off against the main Persian army, and they turned and
Yep.
ran because they didn't have any discipline or
As they,
cohesion.
that's kind of interesting. They still do, huh?
Still do, yeah. But
Interesting.
his first battle in Persia is probably the most talked about amongst historians because his lines
Yep.
were faltering, right?
Yep.
And they were trying to cross a river, it was a shallow river, but they were trying to cross it, and they were having a lot of trouble, and they were getting beaten. It just he was what, 18, 17, something like that. I can't
Yep.
remember how old he was, but
Super
he was a
young.
kid. So he's
Yep.
got, he's invincible, balls of steel, right? And he said to
Of course.
me, and he charged into freaking battle, and all his men, oh shit, and they followed him in, right? And he went
Right.
right into the teeth of it, dude, right into the
Yep.
teeth of it, and was able to break that center, and they just ran. And then much
I wonder
later, they
if
faced them again, and the Persians ran again.
a part of it, because I mean, his numerically, he died right around the same age that allegedly Jesus died.
32.
I
Yep,
wonder if there's, yeah, I wonder if there's some of that. I wonder if because he has,
maybe.
he was a king or he was a prince and then he was a king and then he was an emperor, and there's a lot of like he was a warlord, which is what Messiah basically means.
Right.
Uh, I wonder if there's some of that rubbed off on Alexander, and he just kind of got, because there was Persian emperors who did basically what he did, right?
Oh,
They
more,
conquered from
much
India
more.
all the way over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
much more.
So
Yeah.
I don't. It's very strange to me why he gets
Yeah,
so
it
much
is interesting.
clout.
I can't put a finger on it, but he just is something that stuck, and people liked it, and on it went.
Yep.
And he is a guy that had heterochromia as well.
Yep. I did
His
know that.
right eye was brown, and his left eye was
He was
blue.
a freak.
He
Freak of
was
nature.
blonde hair.
That's all right. I'm left-handed. I'm a freak of nature too. It's fine.
Yeah,
Uh,
as am I.
oh, you're a lefty? I
I
didn't
am.
know that.
Yeah,
See, that's why we get along right there. That
maybe.
must be it. Lefties unite all across the world. I'm also very colorblind, so I'm
I'm
all
not.
kinds of a mess when it comes to the genetic mutations. I'm just a mess over here. Don't mind me.
Yeah, but I don't know why we just got an Alexander conversation. I forget what sparked it.
Charlemagne. We were talking about
Oh,
cultural Christianity
oh,
and
right,
how
and
Charlemagne influenced that.
the beasts thing, and
Yeah.
I remember, because I was asking because Rollins is noisy, even though
Yeah.
I respect her. Martin, he's a great writer, love his books, but he's a lazy shit dumbass. Um, it's just that Stephen King.
I agree that he should finish his shit,
I
absolutely.
wish
But I
he would.
also understand where he's coming from.
I suppose.
Just because he's a much older, he needs to hand it off. If he's not going to finish it, he needs to get whatever
Yeah,
he's got and oversee somebody else writing it.
yeah.
That's what
Let
he needs to do.
Salvatore finish it. He would do a good job, I
Yeah,
think.
just somebody. He needs to give it off. But I can understand. He's older now, and he's like, I got my money. I don't know what am I writing this for? Just to do it? Like I don't think he has the same. I think the reason why it's not
Yeah,
getting
he's
done is
burned
because when
out.
he goes to do it, he just doesn't have it anymore. He knows it. It's just not there.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he
I
just
get
doesn't
that.
want to put out garbage just to put it out.
Right, but I mean, there's so many like King, right? I mean, he's not a good
Yep.
novelist, but he's a great short story writer. He really is.
Yeah.
But he's an absolute idiot, absolute idiot.
Yes.
Uh,
Psychopath.
and just go on and on and on of these really, really capable writers. I mean, they're
You
really good
want to know who
writers.
so far I think is the most normal is Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson. He
Oh,
is.
right,
He
right,
just
yeah,
seems normal.
yeah.
He's a
He's a
married
normal
dude.
dude.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to have any kind of like. I mean, I think he's a Mormon, but we'll
He's
forgive
not the
that.
same category though, dude.
Yeah. Well, that's true. But he is still pretty prolific. Like if you look up how much he's
Yeah, he
actually
makes
put out
money.
there, it's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
And of course, you got Anne Rice, who's I've actually read her interview with the vampire. And
Yep.
it's She's pretty
The
solid.
literal homoerotic novel.
Well,
Yes.
now it's weird. You see that a lot, right? I mean, she is a she's a pretty solid writer. I would say
Yeah.
that you would enjoy the book. But why is it we often see when we see the gay books, they're written by
Mhm.
women?
Um,
It's weird,
I
right?
think it's because they're all secretly gay.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm
they're
going with.
women though. What do they know about
Yeah,
men and stuff like that? I mean, as a good writer, it doesn't matter. I mean, of course, you could write it whatever
true.
you want, but and she did a good job. I just wonder why it's always the women that are writing the gay books. It's weird.
Well, they're the ones who write it the most competently, it seems.
Yeah, it seems
They
like
don't make the characters come off as annoying. Somehow they find the balance. By and large, obviously it's generalization, but I think that'd be a pretty good if you put it on the scale. I think that's how it pan out. Uh, because Anne Rice is a good example. There's a bunch of other ones like even like lesbian, quote unquote lesbian writers from back in the day
yeah,
that could just they could take these characters and make them realistic, make them believable, or make them endearing in some way. Interview with the Vampire. I've never read the book. I've heard a lot about the book. It just doesn't interest me. I'm not a big vampire guy. It's not one of my subgenres of fiction that I like
hmm
particularly. But I do find it interesting how the movie, largely probably because Tom Cruise was like, no, we're not doing that. It
probably
had none of
maybe, yeah.
that. It was barely even a hint in that movie. None of that at all.
hmm Yeah, no, yeah, I don't know much of his work. The only thing I really read was Mistborn, I think it was called,
Mhm.
by Sanderson. But he's okay.
Well, he's the one who finished the Wheel of Time.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yep.
And of course, then they absolutely bastardized it. That was sad, dude.
Yeah, it's tragic,
And
but
it's
that's what
once
happens.
again, yeah, but once again, you have a story that is based around a very strong feminine principle, right?
Yep.
You already have that. So what's the problem? Just do that, right?
Do that thing.
Yeah, but if you look at the title of what I put on for today's show, it's that these creators who believe that they can do it better than the original writer, right?
Mm,
We saw this with Amazon's Lord of the Rings, and it's like, dude, you're literally nearly touching the Bible here, right?
yep.
But we see so many of these people trying to rewrite stuff, and their ego is through the roof, dude.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about that a little bit in one particular case, but we see a lot of it. And it's
Chester,
like,
there is something we have to talk about,
yeah,
and it revolves around the grandiose world of professional wrestling.
oh yeah, okay. Well, I haven't. I watch wrestling occasionally with my son, but yeah,
Well, Chester.
mm,
So, they've been doing this 2-year long storyline with Cody Rhodes,
yeah,
Dusty's boy,
yeah,
Dustin's brother.
yeah.
He's absolutely the face of this company. They've broken every single record that they've ever had, according to Triple H. That's what he said
I thought he
publicly.
was with
They've broken
AEW.
every record. No, he left them and went back to WWE a while ago, 2 or
Okay,
3 years ago now.
okay,
Uh, and so with him as one of the top stars of the company, Roman's still the champion, so technically I guess he's still the face. But let's call a spade a spade. He isn't always there. Roman has one of those part-time contracts because he's smart and doesn't want to be a crippled when he's in his 50s.
right.
Uh, but Cody unfortunately doesn't have that same stroke, so he's there all the time, and I think he'd want to be anyway. So he's the one who's selling out the house shows. He's the one who's selling all the merch. He's by far
Sure.
their merch leader. He's the guy,
Well,
no
they've been
question.
pushing
And
him for a decade, dude.
pretty much everybody agrees that Cody Rhodes is the guy now, right? Except for some really weird corner of like the internet that for some reason just can't get enough of Roman. They just love Roman Reigns, his
Yeah.
beautiful brown skin. They can't get enough, I guess. It's very strange.
Just so you know,
I like Roman too,
you've summoned
but
a wild Corlac. Just so you know.
oh, we are in agreement here, sir. It is one of those rare moments where there is unity, pure unity. We are in pure
We've
agreement.
we've bonded together over this. We are in one on this time. This is the left and the right joining hands and singing
That's right.
Kumbaya.
Oh,
That's right.
Brotherhood. Nice.
That's right. Because Chester on
Mm,
SmackDown this
yeah, yeah,
Friday, Cody Rhodes, the weekend before, had won the Royal Rumble for the second time in a row.
Oh, cool.
When you
I
win
like
the
the Royal
Royal
Rumble.
Rumble, I do too. It's a great time. When you win the Royal Rumble, you're supposed to go on to main event WrestleMania against whichever champion you want. There's 2 world titles again. It's a mess. But he, at the Royal Rumble, stood on the top rope and pointed right at Roman Reigns and said, I want you. I want you, Roman Reigns. There was no doubt, at least it wasn't supposed to be, that that's what was going to happen. Fast forward to SmackDown on Friday.
Mm.
And Cody comes out. We thought, everybody kind of hoped to make it official that he was coming after Roman. Roman cuts this great promo about how awesome he is and everything, and how awesome Roman is and how much the other champion sucks. Cody comes out, cuts this phenomenal promo about how he's coming for Roman. Roman's who he wants. And then says, but not at WrestleMania. And the fucking Rock comes out, and he literally just hands him his match. There's no reason for this to happen, mind you, other than the fact that The Rock is The Rock, of course, and he is cousins. They're not even actually cousins, by the way, with Roman Reigns. They're not cousins they're cousins by tradition.
Kayfabe.
Not making that up. No. Well, kayfabe, cultural kayfabe, but with the Polynesians.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not actually cousins by blood or even really by marriage.
No, I see.
They're cousins by what is called a blood brotherhood in their culture. Anyway, so they're gonna push Cody. They've been telling this 2-year story with Cody Rhodes, and he has been absolutely the guy. He gets the best reactions online. The internet is not having it. So all over oldtwitter.com, all over YouTube, I'd imagine all over Facebook and Instagram as well. I don't really use those except for to make money. All over those 2, there have been a massive upswell of support for Cody, and The Rock has been getting absolutely destroyed everywhere he goes.
Let me back up a second. So
Okay,
The Rock came out and did what?
Here's what happened.
Uh-huh.
We'll back up another week. Right before the Vince McMahon stuff came out, the lawsuit. I'm assuming TKO Holding, which is the company that owns WWE now or oversees it,
right?
WWE now, was informed that this lawsuit news was coming. Right before that happens, The Rock gets put on the board of directors, and he gets full control. I'm actually not against that necessarily. He gets full control of the name The Rock, of all that stuff that, he has full control over the trademark now. Okay. Well, come to find out that after the Vince McMahon news, allegedly that was after it anyway, after CM Punk got hurt, because he got hurt in the Royal Rumble, so he's not going to be at WrestleMania, The Rock went to the board of directors and pitched to them the idea that he can come in and, quote, save WrestleMania. And he literally used his position of authority to take the WrestleMania main event that he did not earn. Just because.
He's fighting Roman Reigns.
Yes.
I see.
As of now, anyway. That's what we're dealing with as of now. And like I said, internet isn't happy about it at all. Here's how we know it's actually real. It's not just weird Twitter people. On YouTube, they release the clip because they do this. WWE releases clips, like important clips from the shows, things they know will get big traction, go viral. Of Cody stepping aside, Rock taking his place, the whole segment. It got over 500,000 dislikes to not even 100,000 likes. It was a 5-to-1 ratio of dislike. Well, on YouTube of all places, and YouTube, WWE's YouTube is the most normie place. Anything they put out, the people in those comment sections love it. You won't find negativity. It's the least toxic environment of all of WWE's social media. It's amazing actually how they've managed to do that, and it was purely just the hashtag as Ben put in the chat over here. Hashtag we want Cody. It was nothing but that. Well, it's interesting to watch.
Let me
go ahead.
Interject a little old man wisdom for you. I've been watching 4.5 decades of wrestling.
Yep.
And one thing that is set in stone, it's almost like a golden rule. The Rhodeses get fucked.
They sure seem to, don't they?
Well, I think the part of the story that's missing here, though, is that I don't know if this is on purpose or something like that, but like CM Punk literally called this in a promo he did. What was it, a week ago, Thundero or something like that?
Yeah, it was
Where
right before the Rumble.
he literally told Cody, like, you're getting your moment, and then a bigger star is going to come out who hasn't been on for a while, and he's going to steal your moment. Like, it is crazy how accurate that promo was. It was extraordinarily on point. So much so that that's the only thing that makes me think that there's a possibility that this is a work, but I'm not, I'll give it like a 5% chance or something, right? Something stupid.
You don't think it's a work?
No. I know it's not a work.
No, I don't think it's a work.
Dwayne's ego.
Yeah, it's just Dwayne's ego. But like the fact that CM Punk went on and literally like described this verbatim happening. Yeah, prophetically.
Which is CM Punk thing, right? So.
Yeah,
it's funny because he was talking about himself, but the fact that it still came to be.
Yes, exactly.
No, but I mean, like, the fact that it is the person who did it as CM Punk was The Rock, and now the person who's doing it to Cody is The Rock. I mean, like, the irony here is so thick, you need like a machete to cut through it or something because it's just incredible.
I'm going to tell you right now, the minute I found out that he became a member of the board of directors on TKO, I was like, he's going to WrestleMania to beat Roman.
Yep. I had a feeling too. I was like, that's not good.
He's
that's not a good sign.
He's gonna do the same thing that John Cena did, which was come and try to have his last match, but he's gonna put himself over.
Yeah, well, Hulk Hogan as well, right? So what makes you so confident, Bob, that that it's not a work?
People who work for WWE that I've talked to behind the scenes.
Oh, fair. All right.
Yeah.
So old Dwayne Johnson, because his little ego was hurt, because Black Adam flopped, and he hasn't had a successful movie since 2019. I know, I went and looked. He went back to WWE, and I actually don't think it's a bad idea necessarily for him to be in the board and things like that.
It's not.
He's a money-making machine. There's no question. And he has a great perspective, being a former, superstar and everything else. However, that doesn't mean he needs to be anywhere near making creative decisions. That's silliness. Triple H has been doing a fantastic job by and large for the last basically 2.5 years with the Vince influx nonsense.
Yeah.
And there was no reason for him to meddle.
Well,
this idea that people keep putting out there, The Rock's a big star and he's going to make him a lot of money. What money is he going to make him? The pay-per-views, it's sold out.
Yeah, the show's already sold out. And Cody is the #1 merch seller in the entire company.
Yeah.
Yes, by far.
Well, you guys are forgetting the universal golden rule. I just told you.
It's just shocking that somehow they finally have a guy who is pretty much universal, as close as they're ever going to get again to universally loved. Like Hogan levels of everybody's in his corner at this time anyway. That will change eventually, but for now, everybody's in his back. Got his back. Even though other wrestlers are out here tweeting support for him.
Yeah, because it was Ricochet that started that hashtag We Want Cody thing.
Oh, right, it wasn't. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, in professional wrestling, there's two families you don't want to belong to. One is the Rhodes, the other one is the Von Erichs. So,
well, very different reasons, but yes.
Yeah, but I think the problem that they're going to have, Chet, is that this has gotten kind of crazy. So, like, Logan Paul has tweeted out, "We want Cody." They have celebrities like Gabriel Iglesias tweeting out, like, "We want Cody." Like, this is the thing. Like, they have to respond. Yeah, Fluffy. Yeah, Fluffy.
He's a big wrestling guy. Yeah,
he's a huge wrestling guy, right? So, and the thing is like there are people that WWE can't control and can't like fuck with that are behind on this momentum. They have to respond. Like I was telling Thundero, the thing that I think is hilarious is that there has to be board meetings happening at like WWE headquarters, like monitoring all this, going, what the thing is like there's people who've had great ideas on how to course correct this, right? What was it? Somebody said like do the signing, like he's gonna do that, like they do, do a signing, and Roman's all like ha ha ha, like I'm not afraid of you. And then The Rock simply says, like, "Oh, you didn't read the contract. You're not fighting me. I'm the special guest referee. You're fighting Cody." Something like that, right? But there's a lot of ways they could pivot the course like that.
Right? It might become a work.
Yeah, they're going to do some. They're already trying to do some damage control on it.
They've got to. They've absolutely got to. They can't have. They're going to be in Philly, bro. Like they can't have that happen again.
Yeah,
they can't have it happen again.
It's gonna be Goldberg friggin' Undertaker all over again.
It's gonna be Rock and Roman in Philadelphia Royal Rumble again. Is what it's gonna be if they don't do something. They've got to audible.
It could be like Brock v. What was it? Lesnar versus Goldberg. Oh God, that was terrible, right? You know, but like they're gonna have a loud, rowdy crowd, and they're gonna let them know this is not what they want, and it's gonna go down as one of the worst WrestleManias.
When they did that,
you couldn't pick the worst crowd to pick to do that kind of thing. Then it's cocksuckers in Philadelphia.
The only other crowd that would be worse would be Chicago.
Well, I guess that would just be old dude, because the reference that would come to me would be Montreal.
Well, that's pretty much what we're getting here. Even worse version, I'd say.
Hang on, Thunder, what'd you say?
I would say it's even worse, and the reason why I'd say it's worse is because it didn't happen in the ring. It happened behind the scenes. It happened pure ego, politic, and nonsense. And there's nothing Cody can really say publicly. What's he going to say? He'll get fired. He risks getting fired if he says anything. Like, The Rock's his boss, effectively. He's on the board of TKO.
Yeah.
And it's just a terrible situation. It's a terrible situation for Cody. It's a terrible situation for the fans. Like, nobody wants this. Nobody.
Cody, say what you want. Cody's a good corporate man. He's never said anything mean about AEW or anyone in there, right? He's like the complete opposite of CM Punk, right? CM Punk will say everything, dresses like he's a homeless guy or something like that. Cody's in business suits all the time and won't say anything negative about anyone. Although he probably has opinions about like the EVPs and stuff in AEW, right?
Oh yeah.
So he'll
the Rhodes have always been that way. They've always been that
absolutely.
Way.
Yeah.
They don't. It's the Rhodes don't talk. They show.
They do. I mean, frickin' Dustin ran around as a weird transvestite with gold paint on his face for how long?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Thunder.
And he was fantastic. By the way, as Gold does.
Thunder, what did you want to say, man?
I don't remember, but basically, I could summarize it like this: Cody Rhodes is the guy. He is the closest thing we'll have to a possible creation of a genuine megastar in WWE since Austin and The Rock. You could put Roman and Cena in there if you want, but I don't count them personally.
No, Roman isn't on the same level as Cena and The Rock and those guys.
No, but he's the closest one they're probably going to have.
Yeah.
Who knows how long? The only one who could potentially, I know, and Grimlock said this to me last night, and I thought about it, and he's right. The only other person who could potentially have who already has crossover appeal, if he stays and keeps getting better, is Logan Paul. But he's still young. He's still in his mid-20s. He's still, I think, or early 30s. He's still got a lot of time. And he seems to love it, and he is ridiculously good at it. He's so good. It's stupid. But right now, they have a chance to do something they haven't had a chance to do in like 20 years. And if they screw it up because some old guy who can't draw money at the movies anymore, and it's a fact, I'm not just saying that because I dislike him, go look at his numbers, comes in and uses his cachet as a legend of this business to do this. So if he literally Hulk Hogan's his way into the main event, and then defeats Roman after 3 years as Roman is champion, takes all that rub for himself that he absolutely doesn't need, I don't think Cody can recover. I don't know. I think I've been saying it for this whole time. This is a boom buster. If they do this, they will destroy their business for a few years. It'll tank if this goes through.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go for it.
I said last year they had a chance to create a Cena level megastar at Royal Rumble, and Vince killed it. And he killed it for a specific reason. Vince, ever since WWE ever since he stopped trying to make WWE the best wrestling company and started turning them into a media company, because Vince Vince's goal is Vince doesn't want to be thought of as didn't want to be thought of as the greatest wrestling promoter of all time. He wanted to be a media mogul because he idolizes Ted Turner.
Yep.
He doesn't want megastars anymore. He wants the WWE brand to be the megastar. So, and that's why Roman, even though Roman is a star and he's reaching out into Hollywood and everything, that's why he's not going to be around for much longer either. But he never reached that same level. He never quite reached that same level of a Cena, of a Rock, of an Austin. He never reached that. The reason, and that's specifically the reason why Vince killed Cody at WrestleMania. He didn't want another megastar. And if they do this, here's the thing. And even though they did do a good job the last 6 months of rehab, ever since they got rid of Vince, ever since they did a good job of rehabbing Cody and getting him hot again and getting people behind him, he will never be as over and as on top as he was last year.
Yep.
He will never reach that level again. And but here's the thing: if they do this, what they've done here, they didn't just kill Cody; they killed Seth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Seth deserves to die. Let's be honest.
Yeah, Grim.
But here's the thing, though.
Hold on a second. One second.
Yeah,
Grimlock, something's going on with your mic. Could you do me a favor and drop out and come back in, please? Yeah, just drop out and come back in. It usually fixes it. I'm sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
No, you're good. When they had Seth come out, and please, here's the thing: Seth's belt, yeah, it's a new belt. It's the consolation prize belt, whether anybody wants to admit it or not. He has put the work in, whether you like him or not. He's been there. He's been doing the matches. He's been putting the work in. He's trying to establish that belt as the number 2 belt in the company. Unfortunately, he's up against Gunther, who's making the IC belt friggin' godlike.
All right.
So what was that?
I was saying it's crazy how good the IC belt is. That's insane.
Yeah, right now the IC belt is the number 2 belt in the entire company, regardless of what anybody says. But when they had him come out and make that case and say this is the working man's belt, this is the belt that Dusty would have, etc. And then Cody says he'll think about it, and then he goes to freaking SmackDown. He says and Roman spends the first 15 minutes running friggin' Seth down. Running down that belt, talking about how it doesn't matter, how it's the loser's belt. And then Cody comes out and chooses Roman anyway, but not at WrestleMania. That buries Seth.
Yeah.
That absolutely firebombs Seth.
Who has the number 1 belt then?
Roman does. Roman's belt.
In fact, he has 2 belts that are merged into one.
Yeah, basically, Roman's belt has the pedigree of both the original WWF/WWE World Heavyweight Championship that all the greats held, but his belt also has the pedigree of the WCW Heavyweight Championship that had all the people that held that belt.
Oh, I see.
So Roman's belt is the most important belt in wrestling today.
I see. Okay.
And I think there's another layer to this, though, that we need to be cognizant of, is that WWE really needs the goodwill of their fans right now, because the Vince stuff isn't going away, and it's only going to get worse during Discovery, right?
And I'm going to tell you right now, the whole reason, the way that Dwayne Johnson sold this to the board is he said this will be a good distraction from that.
Yeah, but
that's 100% how he got them behind it.
Ben, explain to me what the deal with Vince is then, because all I had heard was that he had done some manner of salacious lucidity, which is kind of, for me, when people got upset and saying Donald Trump had sex with a porn star, and I was like,
no, it's more than that.
Shocked you?
Yeah, this is more than that. It's sexual trafficking.
Oh well, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He basically inserted himself into this woman's life and took complete control of her life. And then as soon as he had her locked down, he started sharing her with his friends.
Is there any veracity to it, or is it just, she said, he said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, last week I would have said no, that I don't know for a fact one way or the other. But then the other person who's been implicated came out and threw Vince under the bus. So I would say yes.
Shit.
I'd say that's a pretty good indication that it's yes.
Laurinaitis has turned on Vince. He has publicly said that he's a
Yep.
victim of Vince as
Really?
well. Laurinaitis, like his right hand guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, his guy.
So
Yeah.
so
And
it's gonna
Laurinaitis,
get
Laurinaitis is a guy that has actually been caught forcing himself on
Yes.
people.
Okay, now hold on a second. I got an important question to ask here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
We're dealing with hundreds of millions of dollars, right? Just
Billions,
money
even.
flowing
Yep.
all over the place. WWE, it's been that
Yeah.
way forever. Since Vince, even before Vince, but since Vince took over, there are women everywhere.
Yep.
Why would you need that type of situation when you can bust the nut pretty much anywhere you want, anytime you want?
Because he's a narcissistic megalomaniac.
Yeah, and it's actually really bad because like when Tarndar and I were talking about this, I think one of like the big problems is that he involves the business in all of this, right? And so you're right. As a billionaire, he could have just paid for, and I'm sure there's people who would have, he could have paid for whatever, right? But he hired her into the company and paid her through company funds. Like that, the level of like him entwining the business and all this stuff is absolutely atrocious, along with what he did, right? And so
What's her name?
like. Oh, I forget what her name is.
Janelle
Carol, or is it Janelle? I forget. It's something.
Yeah.
It's easy to find on the news, but yeah, it's Brock Lesnar's been involved in it now because apparently he's implicated in these shenanigans. It's going to get worse. Yeah, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah,
Her name is
he
Janelle
basically
Grant.
he basically offered her to Brock as an incentive to get him to re-sign with the company.
Well, once again, what he doesn't need. Brock Lesnar is a freaking, god beast. He does not need any help getting laid. Zero help needed.
That's dude. What am I tell you, man?
I don't know how deep the Brock one goes. As last I knew from what I saw, he was offered it. She sent him something very salacious at his request, but that was basically it.
He did try to set up a meeting with her to do it, and he
tried to do it, but I don't think it ever actually went.
No, it was because it was during COVID and something happened and it was canceled.
Blizzard or something, right?
Yeah.
Because he lives in Saskatchewan or something like that. He lives in the middle of nowhere. Brock does.
She is a cutie.
Yeah,
and you got to remember, this has been going on for like a decade. So she was even hotter back when she started.
Well, and it's also this is only one. She's the only one who came out because Vince stopped paying what he agreed to pay to keep her quiet.
So
she was like an idiot.
The original, they got her to sign an NDA, and for the NDA they paid her. But here's the thing: there's one out there. There's another one out there. She got paid. She was going to get paid $3 million. She ended up getting like 1.5 of it before they stopped paying her. There's another one out there that got $7.5 million.
Okay, now
and that was like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, now hold on a second. Now hold on. Now there's now you're bringing money into it. She's getting paid, and she only spoke up because she stopped getting her money. Now
there's a level of
100%, dude.
Yeah, there's a level of shenanigans I think here, but the fact that
I agree with you, Chester. Exactly. If that hadn't happened, if Laurinaitis hadn't flipped and been like, "No, I'm a victim too," and basically said he's going to rat out Vince and turn on him, that tells me that there's something there enough for him to be afraid of it, other than the civil. Because right now it's just a civil case; they're investigating other matters, but there's a smoke there because Laurinaitis is so afraid to flip on somebody.
Because here's the thing: just
30 years.
If they just investigate the Laurinaitis stuff, Vince is going to be implicated in that and covering that up, because we know for a fact that Laurinaitis forced himself on multiple women when he was when he would hold meetings in the company jet.
Yep.
And he got caught, and WWE basically went into friggin' damage control mode. They didn't fire Laurinaitis, but they removed him from all of his positions. Basically, he was just kept on the payroll. People thought he was fired, but he wasn't. And Vince and his cabal and his team of lawyers went to work, and they did everything they could to cover it up and shut the friggin' the talent up that he did this to. And I think part of what's going on is they're freaking out because they're afraid that that's going to come up, and then he's going to get implicated in that.
Right. No,
And it's
I
not
get,
just going to
I
be
get
him.
it.
And it's
But
not just going to be him though. It's also going to be friggin' Pritchard. It's going to be Kevin Dunn. It's going to be all those guys. And I think that's why Kevin Dunn. I don't think Kevin Dunn quit last month. I think they went to him and said, this investigation is going to start. It's going to circle and it's going to implicate you. You have two choices. You can either quit or we'll fire you.
Yep.
And he took the money and he ran.
right. But I'll have to wait and see how it works out, I guess. But for me though, because like we had all this stuff with Weinstein, remember?
Mhm.
And
Yep.
what happened with Weinstein? Why did he get busted? He got busted because a little Italian actress was in there for something, and he basically, was trying to force himself on her. And she ran and she went directly to the police and
Yep.
said, "This man did this," as you should, right?
Yes.
And then after that, we had Gwyneth Paltrow and all the other whores of Hollywood coming up and
Yes.
saying, "Oh my goodness, I got paid millions of dollars to have sex with Weinstein." It's like, fuck you straight.
I agree.
You're a whore, right? So,
Yep.
and I don't know what you're bitching about. That little Italian girl, good on her. Good on her. That fucker tried to take advantage of you. You went to the cops and you did exactly what you were supposed to do. I applaud her. But the other ones go to hell, right? So this lady, it sounds like a similar situation to me. She getting paid. There is a thing in this world. It's called prostitution. It's been around for I don't know about 100,000 fucking years.
Yeah.
And like Thunder said,
Pretty much once we invented money, we started using it to buy sex.
Yeah.
Damn right.
And like Thunder said before the whole, because there's more than just Laurinaitis coming out and saying this. He's actually bringing receipts with him.
Well, he sounds like
Before-
he's done some stuff,
yeah.
but I mean,
he's Vince's best friend.
yeah, no, I'm
So-
sure they're all a bunch of scumbags.
Here's
Is
what I
anyone
think's gonna happen.
surprised that Vince McMahon is a scumbag? Anybody?
No.
But here's, but
I
like-
still
like said-
believe that he was
Yeah.
involved in that what they called the Ring Boy scandal back in the early '90s, where he was
Yeah.
handing off young minor boys to Pat Patterson to have sex with.
Yeah.
I think that was
100%.
probably true. Yeah.
And I think if this thing continues, that's going to come out.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what I'm saying. I don't know about this particular girl because I agree largely
Well-
with what you're saying, Chester. The problem is Laurinaitis is willing to flip, and if Laurinaitis is willing, obviously, then that means they're going to open up all of it.
He's
Yeah,
always
and-
seemed like a coward to
and
me.
there is-
McMahon is in trouble.
Laurinaitis
if that's the
always
case.
seemed like a slimy coward to me, though.
Oh, he
always
100%
has.
is.
He is. He's the reason he's one of the most despised people in history of wrestling.
Well,
He's always
there's-
been
If this
a no talent weasel.
Right, I never cared for Laurinaitis. But here's the thing: if what you're telling me if there's actual truth to this, and there are
Mhm.
some real things going, I don't know about that Grant girl because that sounds like a
That-
prostitution
I-
deal to me.
What's
But
what's going
if
on with
the
her?
rest
I
of it
think
is real, if the rest of it is real, and there's real stuff come out, this is bigger than Vince McMahon. That is the death of the
Oh, yeah.
WWE, dude.
That's why
Yeah.
that's why the TKO board is purging the company right now. That's what's going to happen is it's not going to go to court. What's going to happen is Ari Emanuel is going to purge the company of every person that is connected to this, and then he's going to contact all these people, and he's going to drop a blank check in front of him and say how much,
Pretty much.
and that's what's going to come out of this. But here's the
Violent
thing:
settlement.
the reason why why Vince and all these guys are freaking out is I don't think they're concerned about Janelle. I think they're concerned about all the other things that have happened in the past, including the first woman that he friggin' raped, which was all the way back in the 90s.
Wow.
That's
get
pretty
that,
much
man.
guaranteed. That's pretty much friggin' like
Well, you have to remember that
Yeah.
Vince McMahon is a man who is so obsessed with his own ego and control that he
Yeah.
didn't even like to sneeze in front of other people.
no.
That's
He-
how.
and- and he-
His logic was, according to Chris Jericho, and I believe this story 100%.
This has been
He
corroborated.
should be able to control it. He can't. He didn't. He wasn't able to control. That's how obsessed he is with his
With
own
control.
narcissistic control freak
Wow.
stuff.
Steroids, man.
Yeah,
Ben knows
and that's
about
the other
that.
thing-
Ben, tell him
that's the
about the
other thing, too.
steroids, Ben.
Dude, that's the other thing too, man. Is
What are you
Vince? Vince has
beat
always
up
been.
for on that?
Vince has always been this idea that he's some kind of super virile stud,
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
and
Genetic
steroids.
that he's
jackhammer.
able to get anything he wants whenever he wants, and
All
he
that.
doesn't have to
Yeah.
pay for it and everything.
Yeah,
And
no,
that's
I
where
get
all
it.
this comes from.
Steroids, male hormone, it jacks their head out. Look what Benoit. Look what it did to him.
Yeah.
Tore his brain apart, and he ended up just absolutely obliterating his whole damn family, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand all that, but damn, dude.
Can I
And
just
that's what.
say the
Mhm.
worst part about all of this is that I know way too much now about McMahon's kinks, having read
Oh
the tweets
God,
and all this
man.
stuff. It's
Dude,
awful.
the
Like
fact that he had like threesomes and foursomes and stuff with his guy. Oh, jeez.
With his what?
the
He had
poop, dude,
he
the poop.
What?
Yeah, he paid her to take a crap on him.
What?
He was in his
No,
stat.
he took a crap on her head.
I think she did the same thing to him.
Oh God,
Yeah,
it's
it's
awful.
bad. It's good, it's
Why?
bad. And then also he had threesomes and foursomes with his guys with her,
With his guys.
including Laurinaitis. Yeah, including Laurinaitis.
Yeah, I always thought that was creepy. I've swapped.
Yes, pooping
The
on
only
somebody
reason,
is creepy.
the
Chester.
only
That's
reason,
creepy.
the only reason that happened is because they needed her there to make
No,
it
I'm
not
talking
gay.
about the two dudes together. I'd always thought that was weird on one girl. I've swapped with a dude, mid coitus, right?
Mhm.
And I've had two
Aye.
girls, but I don't want my dick on
Degenerate.
another dude's dick. Do you want your dick on another dude's dick? I don't think so.
I don't even want my dick in the same room as another dude's dick. I'm
They
good.
would take.
Well,
They would
like
take
I said, I
turns
did the
with her.
swap. It was weird. I did it one time only.
Degenerate.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe you and Vince
But-
would get along. You ever shit on
Yeah,
anybody, Chester?
They did
Well, we
some
are from
really.
the same area. No, I don't get
They
that.
did-
I
they
don't
did
get
some
the
really
whole
mean stuff.
scatology shit. I don't understand that. There's a lot of things like the urination stuff. I mean, Ben,
Yeah,
look what
that's-
you did, Ben.
Yeah, it's nauseating.
Sarah and I were talking earlier, and we made an agreement to hijack your show and just talk about this
Yeah.
the whole time.
Oh, I'm fine.
So it's
You know,
us.
I'm
It's
cool.
our
I'll
fault.
talk about wrestling
Yeah.
all day long, dude. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's going away from the Vince stuff, which is one of the reasons this is happening. Because some people were saying they think CM Punk getting hurt was part of a catalyst. It might have been part of it, but I actually think it was going to happen anyway. I think Rock knew what he was there for a reason.
Sure.
When he got on that board, this was
Sounds
his plan
set up.
from day one.
Well, they were the plan, according to from what the people that I've talked to, is they started moving this direction before the Rumble.
Yeah.
The original idea was that Cody was going to win, and then it was going to be he was going to do something. Basically, this idea that he was going to pass on Roman for Mania was the idea from the start, and it was going to be him versus Punk night 2 at Mania.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was him and Punk were going to be the co-main event for night 2, and then Seth versus I can't remember, like Seth versus Drew or Seth versus Gunther or something that was going to be the main event for night 1. Then Seth got hurt, and they're not 100% sure that he's going to be able to perform at Mania. And Punk got hurt, got put on the shelf. And then they started trying to scramble to figure out how to still do what they want to do, which is the reason why Seth, even though he's not going to be wrestling until WrestleMania, is not going under the knife to get surgery, which I think is a terrible freaking idea.
Yeah, he's gonna ruin his.
Because all he's going to do is he takes one bump the wrong way and he's on the shelf for the next 9 months.
Yeah, or forever. He might.
Lord, let us pray.
Dude,
the next year.
Whether you like him or not, don't ever hope for someone to get hurt. That's fucked up.
Here's the question. Here's my question. I don't think they're going to change the match entirely. Meaning, I think Rock is going to force this issue. He's going to get his match with Roman.
Yes.
However, I think if there's enough uproar, we'll get a triple threat. They'll make it.
I don't think it's going to be a triple threat. I think what's going to happen
I think that'd be worse.
No, they can't do that. They can't do that. That people will lose their shit if they do that. What they're going to have to do is, here's the thing. One of two things is going to happen. Either they're going to do something, or they're just going to say screw it and just go with the plan that they've got.
Well, the problem is what does Cody do?
If they're going to do something, it's gonna have to be Rock versus Roman on night 1 and Cody versus Roman on night 2.
That would be the only other option.
That's the only other option that they do, and that's the only option that people will accept. Because here's the thing: they are paying attention to this, and that segment, because they put that segment back up on the WWE's YouTube page.
Yeah, I saw
it is the most downvoted video in YouTube history. It's got over 500,000 downvotes.
Has Seth Rollins
for
beat
the
himself
WWE
up since the last time I saw him? He's a bit skinny to be a champion.
He's fine as far as I think, especially in the modern era, he's more than.
He's never been a really big dude. He was a little more cut, but he kind of he became a dad. He's actually been wrestling beat up for a while now, and this latest injury is just.
They should have just took the title off of him when he got hurt.
Worst injury angle I've ever seen. The dude's had supposedly had a shit back for 7 months.
Yeah,
has had multiple matches where his back was focused on and destroyed, and yet somehow
keeps winning.
2 moves wins.
No, it's not. The injuries that he's supposedly working with are his back. That was a whole work, but I think he supposedly had a partial shoulder separation. He's had a couple of minor injuries in one in his forearm and another one in his foot.
Oh,
he's basically doing what they used to do back in the day, which is everybody used to wrestle hurt.
Walking wounded, yeah. Now it's normal. Yeah. It's just like football players. Yeah, that's true.
Because Seth is desperate to be seen as one of the top guys, and that's why he's been working. Yeah, well, dude,
much as he wants to be, he's still.
Right now he is.
The problem with Roman's promo. That's true. The problem with Roman's promo is he was right. Everything he said is correct.
Yep.
That belt is absolutely a consolation prize. Seth doesn't get a pop. His song gets a pop.
What belt does Seth have?
The World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, when they unified the 2 original belts, they created a new World Heavyweight Championship for SmackDown. For Raw. For Seth, because the television companies demand that there be a title on the show.
I get it. Yeah.
So and they created a new one for him, and I'll give him credit, dude. He's at least trying to put the work in to make this.
He's at least
relevant.
there.
But the problem, unlike Roman, who only wrestled 5 times last year.
Wow, that's
a lot. And the problem is, if it wasn't Triple H's boy, that title would have been moved a lot. That's the other problem.
They should have put it on
because he does not move the needle. Seth,
no.
Here's what I would have done once Seth got hurt. You have Elimination Chamber coming up. You have Gunther right frickin' there. Put him in the AC. Put it for a vacated World Heavyweight Championship, and let Gunther win it and go in as a double champ,
dude,
and do night 1 of WrestleMania with him and somebody.
I saw Gunther recently. That dude changed his body radically from last time I saw him.
He's a beast, bro.
Dude,
I love Gunther.
He's really tall. He's kind of got that lanky. He reminds me of. You ever seen Lance Storm?
Yeah,
I'm not.
He's like a long version, elongated version of Lance Storm. Yeah. I get where you're going.
He's got that kind of like build to him, but because he's so tall, he can put some stank behind his moves.
Oh yeah,
right. Well,
dude, that guy does a chop. It sounds like a gunshot going off.
Well, when Gunther first came out, he looked like that. He looked like that Scottish guy when he first came out, the pretty boy. McMahon was all about him back in the day.
You talking about the McIntyre?
McIntyre, yeah, McIntyre.
Yeah,
that's what Gunther looked like originally. Now he's like, geez.
Have you seen McIntyre lately?
He's
like Brock Lesnar big. He's humongous.
That guy did all the roids, man.
He did them all. He went in there, I'll take them all. No, all of them. That's what he said to him.
I have a very important question I need to ask.
Yeah.
Ben?
Yeah.
Ben?
Uh-oh.
Ben?
Uh-oh.
Who's your favorite wrestler now?
My favorite wrestler right now?
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Do it for the memes.
Do it for the memes? I was always a big Ken Shamrock guy.
This guy
Jesus fucking
Wow.
Christ!
handed him the ball and he fumbled it right
Oh my
in front of
God.
all of us.
Right,
What?
right
Dude.
now, in my opinion, I think Bryan Danielson is doing work.
Yeah,
But
Except he
in
yeah.
my
keeps getting
personal opinion, the best wrestler in the world right now is Will Ospreay.
What?
Pretty good.
Never even heard of that.
And he drops the ball. We got to do it for the meme, boys. The right answer right now is Cody. That's the one.
I mean, that's
That's
fair.
the right answer. Even
Okay,
if it
no,
isn't
you're right.
necessarily
In
all the way true.
WWE, 100%. In the
Well, dude,
WWE, 100%.
You know, the best wrestling match I ever seen. The best wrestling match I ever seen was Dustin and Cody versus a couple of Polynesian guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely freaking awesome
Yeah,
match.
that match is phenomenal. Yeah.
I mean, Cody did a great job, but Dustin, jeez.
Dude, Dustin was so ahead of his time, and unfortunately, he's so friggin'
Never
woke.
recognized for it. Yeah, never recognized for his talent. It was
Dude,
it
they-
was
Uncrowned.
They made him a
Uncrowned world
transvestite.
champion.
I know, dude. Well, here's the thing: he was on board with that, though. He wanted to get breast implants.
Yeah, he was all in. He went all in with it.
Yeah, he's
was
woke
committed.
beyond woke, dude. He went all in.
Yep.
But as far as talent is concerned, I would say he's actually more. Cody's a talented dude, but I think Dustin was way more
Oh,
talented. when
Dustin
he was
is
in
way
the scene.
better. He's one of the
In
best
the ring,
wrestlers
definitely.
I've ever
In the
seen.
ring,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
On the stick, not
it's
so much,
ridiculous. But he doesn't have the look, though. Dustin doesn't
No.
have
No.
the look. He can't be the.
You know what?
He can't be the poster child.
If you look at Dustin, the way
Cody
Dustin's built, he's built a lot like Gunther.
He is.
Yeah.
He's
No,
just
that's
thicker.
Tall
very
and he's
true.
lanky. He's tall and he's lanky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think
All this
Gunther is
talk
a far
about Dustin
better.
and nobody's bust out singing the natural. I am disappointed.
But no, like Will Ospreay, Will Ospreay used to be just like a flippy guy, and then he got a rush of brains to the head, and he started bulking up a little bit and slowing. Like he realized he could slow down a couple.
Well, he almost
steps.
broke his neck. Crying
Yeah,
out loud.
he
Hit
realized
right
he
on his
could
head.
slow down a couple steps, tell a good story in the ring, and still do really cool moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
the Maple
yeah,
Sheik has
you'll see him
corrected us
soon.
all. I do have to apologize. He says the best match is when the Maple Sheik, beat Bob Backlund for the world title. That's true.
I like that.
That was a good
I like
match.
that.
Oh,
That's
dude,
good.
yeah,
I like
love
that
the-
commitment to the
Yeah.
bit.
Iron Sheik.
I would say, unironically, besides the memes, Cody is up there. I actually really like Cody. But besides
Cody's a
the
good
memes,
dude.
for me, and I think Grimlock can attest to this because I've ranted about him for a year, is Drew. And it's just ridiculous how he's just
Wow.
there and he's got everything you could want and he just gets nothing. No,
Dude,
he
when
just nothing.
when he went face to face and I think it was the second Saudi Arabia show that they ever did. When
Yep.
he went nose to nose with the Undertaker, and I realized how freaking big he was,
Yeah.
I was like,
Big boy.
"Holy shit, this dude's
Well,
a monster!"
One thing Sendero and I've been appreciating is Drew's heel game, right? So
He's so good as a heel, man. I don't
Oh,
like him
man.
as a face.
He is the best at the social media promos
Yes.
by far. He's the best.
Yeah, he's killing it. But
That's
my
true.
favorite currently is, and Thundara, you already know what I'm gonna say. It's my man Baron von Strucker, the Ring General.
He looks like a comic book villain come to life.
Right.
That's what he looks like.
You know
I've
what
been
he is?
saying it. He looks like a Jack Kirby illustration. He looks like Baron von
Yeah.
Strucker. If Marvel had any sense, he would be Baron von Strucker.
Just bring him in.
Oh,
Let him
dude,
be old.
he reminded me. He's the second coming of Baron von Reichstein.
Yep.
That motherfucker.
Yep.
He looks like a super villain.
He's just a perfect heel. He's perfect. There's
Like,
no flaw in his game at all.
There's way too
And
many
that is
chicks
something
in
they haven't
my
had in
face.
a long time.
But man,
Who is this Osprey guy? I gotta check him out.
okay, yeah,
Well,
He's in AEW.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
He used to be New Japan. He was in New Japan for a long time. He just
What's
signed
his
with
name?
AEW.
Kevin Osprey.
No, Will
Will.
Ospreay.
Will.
Will Ospreay.
That's Kevin Osprey.
That dude is basically in New Japan for like the last
He's very
4 or 5
British.
years. It's basically him and Kazuchika Okada.
He's super
Which-
British.
You know,
He has
yeah,
the most
he-
British
yeah, he-
accent.
He looks like
of all
that
time.
South African flyer.
South African?
What?
There was a guy. He was from South Africa. He was, a flyer type wrestler.
You're not talking
he's a
about
flyer.
Justin Gabriel, are you?
Maybe it was Justin Gabriel. Yeah.
How long ago were we talking?
Oh, forever.
Justin Gabriel was like back in like the mid 2000s. He was like when him and Paul London was the tag team on SmackDown.
He was pretty good.
Yeah.
This guy
No,
looks
Will's fantastic.
nimble.
Will's
Yeah.
fantastic. No question.
he's very, very, very talented. But
I actually wish he would go to WWE because I think they would smooth him out, and he could actually become a generational level talent.
you know why he didn't go though? It's because he still wants to live in England, and which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It's like you guys just got $5 billion. You can't afford to fly the dude back and forth. Literally, he's a generational talent. He, like you said, he could go there and he could be the next friggin' Shawn Michaels. Yeah, that's how friggin' good he is.
Well,
and
dude,
smooth.
I'm still have serious questions about this Logan Paul character.
Dude, look, I'm gonna say this.
He's so good, Chester. It's ridiculous.
He's annoying as shit. He's a freaking dumbass. But
he's unnatural.
He's really talented in the ring. He's the first one to come in there.
Version. He could be a new Ric Flair. He's such a dick.
I don't know
if he can get under your skin so well, and he could be that kind of chicken shit cocky heel. But if you do it right, like a Ric Flair who could also go, because he can go,
he
could be
at
that
how good he was in the ring.
All right,
he's
probably the best. He's probably the best celebrity wrestler that's ever been.
Oh, I know. Okay, cool. I'll have to check
it out. Absolutely, hands down, he is the best celebrity.
I mean, I can't stand him. I can't. I forget guts. But
I still don't know why I have so many chicks in my face. I really don't understand it.
The chicks can do it too, Chester.
Yeah, sure. For less pay, please.
that like mid-air flying thing that him and Ricochet did, like, oh my God. Holy shit! That when I saw that, I was like, Osprey? That was like, no, we're talking about Logan Paul.
Well, that too at a different point.
Superhero shit.
Osprey does that kind of crazy stuff too. But here's the thing:
that's true.
How badass would it have been if Osprey had gone there and he had a match with Logan Paul?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude! It'd be like the friggin' flying was it Karzamov brothers?
Yes.
AJ Styles is in the WWE.
Been there for a while.
Been for 8 years.
Yeah, he's been in there for a long time.
He was their world champion. What I think
he was the champ for like a year almost.
Yeah.
Jeez, I haven't watched.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's why they don't need The Rock, because current WWE has it's just full of good talent.
Yeah.
They got so many, like, they've got LA Knight, they've got Randy Orton, they've got AJ, CM Punk, Cody. Like, this right now is the most big star talent that they've had for a long time.
And they've got guys coming up out of NXT that are going to be really good too. Braun Breaker, I don't give a shit what anybody says. Braun Breaker's going to be a badass.
If they would just change his name,
they have to give him his name.
They got to
get his name.
He's Rick Steiner's son.
Because
just let him be Rex Steiner, damn it. Dude, it's a good name.
Well, hold on. What? Back up. We said Steiners came into the conversation, please. What?
Yes.
Braun. Rick Steiner's son is in WWE. They changed his name to Braun Breaker.
No,
but
dude.
He's a
dude. That's a legacy.
He looks
exactly.
And they had his dad come out. They had his dad come out with him, but they still wouldn't call him Steiner.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's stupid.
It's so dumb,
dude.
I know it. Picture of him.
I know Rick went kind of sideways, but back in the day, the Steiners, dude. Whoo!
Yeah,
and
oh boy,
I know we didn't talk about it. I know we didn't talk about it much last week, but even in the Royal Rumble, he even came out in an outfit similar to Rick.
Yeah, he dresses like he looks just freaking like his dad.
He does.
He's just little. He's a
little
better
more
looking
version.
He was.
He's a little bit better looking. That's about it. But he's just like his dad. And he is by far, and everybody who's trained him says this, he hits the ropes faster than anybody they've ever seen. Yep. He is just lightning in that ring.
Dude, if they did him right,
20 miles an hour.
Yeah, 22 miles an hour.
Span. That's fucking insane.
But
that acceleration.
Dude, he wrestles just like his dad did too. Power moves, man. just if they booked him right, give him his friggin' name, have his dad come out and be his friggin' manager for God's sake.
Oh, it'd be perfect. Yeah, you're right.
And
with
just
the chainmail
just
on the head.
Or
and
his
everything.
uncle.
Yeah, or his uncle.
Yeah.
Let Scott be his friggin' manager and do some Steiner math.
Right.
But
Please get Scott in there with a live mic with CM Punk.
Oh my
Just let
God.
that happen. Just let that happen.
That'd be great. Yeah. Your name is stupid, Boa. You're stupid. All right, fine.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
Braun Strowman is
there's
still
the
around.
beast.
Brock, Jesus, absolute.
There he is. There's Braun Breaker right there.
Holy.
Tell me that he doesn't look. He looks just like his dad.
He looks like Rick. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way he dresses too. He wears a singlet like his dad. He wears mostly black like his dad. He is. It's like they cloned. It's like they cloned Rick and then added a little bit of like
added the
Randy
athleticism
Orton in the eyes is what they did. They painted that.
Yeah. Well, that's good though. That
man,
means he's got that hunter's eyes. That's what he needs to get over big.
When he runs the ropes, too, man, he's a power wrestler through and through. He's an old school power wrestler.
That's cool, dude. I'm down with that.
But they have, like he was saying, they have an absolutely stacked roster. The Rock is not needed. Everybody online they keep saying it's gonna be. He's gonna add so much. What's he gonna add? It's first of all, WrestleMania is on Peacock. It's not a mainstream streaming service. Let's be honest, it's not. It's once you buy Peacock, you got it. So it's not like they're gonna add a bunch of new money like through pay-per-view buys. It's sold out, and The Rock hasn't drawn like he used to draw in 5 years. What is he adding?
He's not.
I just don't understand this.
That's when everyone says, "Oh, they're going to make so much more money." I was like, "How?
Where?
Cody's the number one. Cody's the number one merchandise guy. The show's already sold out. The show's on Peacock, so they're not going to get more. Jesus, look at Gunther. Christ, dude, that's a Marvel super villain. But yeah, how's he going to make more money for them? Yeah. He's not. It's stupid.
Exactly.
But what do you think of the Creed brothers, dude? Man, those guys are freaking good.
I think they're very, very athletic, but they need somebody to get them some personality.
Well,
what I mean by that is they need a manager. They need somebody to be their to be their.
I would love this. I'd love for them once he's done with Roman, because once Roman drops that belt, he's a Hollywood guy. He's going to show up like a couple times a year. I'd like them. I'd like them to put Heyman with him.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
Heyman could take those guys and really turn them into something, because those dudes are like really.
You could put Heyman with him, or you could go another route and put him with Jade and let him be Jade's mouthpiece.
That way,
Jade's got endless aura.
How's this Dexter Loomis guy?
He sucks.
Okay.
I can't stand that.
He looks like he'd be great.
He's got a good look.
Yeah.
He's got a great look, but his gimmick is stupid.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know Drew Gulak was still on the roster.
Yeah, I think he's a trainer now.
Oh,
but Dragon Lee, there's a dude that's like a really good high flyer.
There's the biggest heel in the entire business, old Dirty Dominic.
Oh my
he's
God,
the top heel.
You know what? Personality wise and whatnot, he's great. He's got great fire and everything. He's still suspect as hell in the ring, dude. He still keeps trying to do his dad's moves.
Yeah,
he's way too tall and way too big.
He's skinny. He's skinny fat.
Well, I'm going to have to do some research. I got to find out if Rey Mysterio's name is Sanchez.
That
was a joke.
It's Gutierrez.
Continue on.
But no, this just bringing it back full circle, man. This whole situation with
Oscar
Cody
Gutierrez Rubio. If only there was a Sanchez in there, that would be the greatest joke ever.
I like Dom. I think Dom has a lot of potential. I think if they can iron him out and get him in better shape, he could be something even special for him, because we know he can get heat.
He needs to put him about 20. They need to put him on gear, because let's face it, they are all on it.
And Brock's been on a podcast. Look at these two. They're not on gear. Look at them. They both put on 20 pounds of muscle while they were gone.
Well, dude, AJ came back. I was like, what the frick? Did he go? Did he just like eat the weights? What the hell?
Yeah. He just dove into a vat of steroids.
He's never been
there for a while.
Bad shape, but he came back and he was jacked.
This roster is too big.
Yeah,
this is nothing compared to AW's roster, dude. AW's
and they don't
twice the size.
Wow.
and they just added The Rock on top of it.
Yep.
Like I said, it's just not needed. And it's not that I don't want to see Rock and Roman. I do. I think that'll be a fun match. But I don't want it to take the place of people
Not at the
who
expense of
earned,
Cody. Yeah.
not at the expense of anyone who've earned it,
And that
who've
is
earned this chance.
Is this Elton Prince one of them transgenders?
No.
No, but they
They play this weird metrosexual thing
yeah.
that they're doing.
They're Swedish.
Yeah.
They
Or
are.
something.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
get
well,
it.
there's another one. Him
there's
and
a
Dol-
third
him
tag
and not
team.
what's
Yeah,
the other
they're
one's
called-
name? I can't remember the
I
other guy's
can't
name.
remember. Their team's called Pretty Deadly.
Oh God, Eric, you're a Viking, I think. All right,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's one of the
Finn
Vikings.
Balor. He's been around a while.
Dude,
Oh,
I
that's a
can't stand
terrible
Grayson
picture
Waller.
of Gigi. What are they doing
Yeah,
with
that's an
that
awful
picture?
picture of Gigi.
Dude, there's way too many chicks in here.
I can't stand Grayson Waller. That dude needs to disappear.
I agree. He's terrible.
He's awful.
I don't think he does anything well. I don't know what they see in
He's
him.
a good wrestler.
This Gable Stevenson looks bad.
He's
I
a
don't know.
he's a total bust.
He's a legit badass, but he's just not. He doesn't have the personality.
He didn't translate well into the ring.
Guru
He's I mean, he's gold
Raj?
medal.
Is he
Oh,
tall
yeah,
or short? Or this Guru Raj?
Is he a member of Indashir?
I think so.
Which they're a
Not that he's just somebody on NXT.
yeah. Ilya
Like
Dragunov,
dragging bodies again.
that's a mean little bastard right there.
Ivar must be friends with Eric.
They're
Yeah,
a tag
yes.
team.
They've been around a long time, going back to the
Oh,
Ring of Honor days when they was War
Yeah.
Machine, which I wish
War-
they would have still been called.
dude, they were so much better as War Machine. Dude, hey,
Dude, remember back when they first came together after weeks of just destroying each other on Ring of
yeah.
Honor?
It was awesome.
Ah,
You know what? Here's the thing.
Man.
Let me ask you guys a question. How we know how we know Dwayne is politicking the shit out of everything, because literally the week that he became a member of the board, they made his daughter the general manager for friggin' NXT.
Oh wow, really?
Yes.
Yeah, because she wanted to be a wrestler, but she sucks.
I see.
JD
Well,
McDonough with his giant head.
Jerry, the
Ugh.
King lawyer, is here to save the day.
Said it wrong twice.
Jesus Christ, English professor.
Hell, dude.
Lawler.
Jerry,
Um,
there you go. You got it the third
Thank
time.
Thank you. What is this? Is he a dwarf? Is this a dwarf?
No,
He
looks
might as
like
well be. Yeah, he looks like he's half of a man. That's what he looks like.
He's
I don't know
actually
why.
He's actually like 5'10", 5'11".
Hornswoggle-esque character.
If
No,
he's
not-
5'10", I'm 6'4". There ain't no way he's 5'10". I don't buy it.
Okay.
He's almost as tall as he's about as tall as Finn, and Finn's like 5'10".
No, Finn's probably like 5'8", if I had to guess.
All right. Legitimate.
Because the
wrestlers
Usos
right
aren't
here.
tall and they tower
Oh, yeah.
over him.
No, these guys are legit, dude. Especially
Yeah.
Jay.
Jay Uso, baby.
They're legit wrestlers. Very, 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 very skilled.
These boys.
John Cena exists.
He's still there.
Dude, I can't stand Joe
Still
Gacy.
there. Yeah, Joe Gacy's pretty terrible.
This is a huge roster, dude.
What maybe you'll know this more than me. What's Cena up to right now? Is he working?
Nothing.
What's he up to?
He's got
Well, I know that,
is it-
but I mean, like, is he right now working on one?
yeah, he's working on what the hell is it called?
Oh, here's another transgender guy.
That's the other one. That's
Hey,
the other
Kofi.
guy.
He's still doing. Good for you, Kofi.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Kofi's the
I
man.
think is he still trying to get the Wile E. Coyote movie to somebody to distribute?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, the reason
that was
I
like the
asked,
last thing I heard that he was working.
because if they're not going to give Cody his shot that he deserves, right? And say Seth is out, I don't want Cody and Seth for. I don't want to even think that's going to
No.
happen. So, if somehow Cena is available, him versus Cody could be a main event match. It's not what anybody really wants, but it'd be something. You know what I mean? It'd
Yeah.
be something better than nothing.
Cena just did that movie Argyle.
That movie is getting absolutely hammered. MVP, is he wrestling? I used to like MVP.
No, he's a manager.
He's got he's got 3 movies.
Almost.
He's got Grand Death Lotto, Head as a State, and he's got a TV show called The 64th Man or something.
MVP.
Oh, is he worked? He's
No,
Cena.
Oh, Cena. Yeah, now
Yeah.
Cena. He's not a bad actor. He can do it.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah.
He's got some chops. I'd say he's
does,
better
yeah.
at this stage than The Rock was at this stage. This early in his
I
career.
can't believe they've got Nick Aldis acting like a freaking general manager. Like, dude.
I know. Look at him. I mean, he's a literal Greek god, and they got him as in a suit, not wrestling, and he's only like 37. Why? Why don't you have him wrestle?
I don't know, dude.
Odyssey
It's freaking
Jones.
dumb.
That's my kind of boy right there. Right there. You get him, Odyssey.
Freaking
That's a
Omos.
good. That's an old school wrestling name right there, Odyssey Jones.
Damn
I like that.
straight. I like it. Big boy. Big boy. I don't see Mark
stand
Henry.
it.
Oh, Otis.
Well, Mark
Nope, Mark ain't
Henry's
in
in
there
AEW as an announcer.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Is Otis supposed to be
Otis-
Hacksaw Jim Duggan-esque?
No.
Not really,
I
unfortunately.
love me some Hacksaw, dude. Paul Heyman is not dead
There he
yet.
is.
No,
Somehow.
he's like their number one friggin' manager mouthpiece, man.
Oh,
Yep.
he's good at
He's
what he
Roman's
does.
guy.
Paul's great at what he does. Yeah.
No,
Right. Oh, the absolute quintessential wrestler right there, Randy.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Dude, look, R-Truth is like 60 years old. And look how
I know.
He looks great.
freaking
Yeah, but he's
Our
fun, though.
truth
I love
is
R-Truth,
still
man. He's
fast.
fun.
Yeah.
R-Truth is still mobile and crazy fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe.
He's
I
still-
can't believe.
He still thinks he's going to win a world title. I just seen him do an interview.
He
He's like,
should, dude.
I want to be a world champion.
He is their number one comedy character.
He's always
He's
been
hilarious.
Fun, dude.
Yeah.
And the best
they-
part about him is he's not just a comedy wrestler. He can absolutely work. He's a phenomenal wrestler.
Yeah, no,
Like-
R-Truth's
like-
good. He's solid. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Compared to some of the other people that they put friggin' world titles on, dude, I wouldn't be mad at
That's
it.
true.
Dude, why isn't Ray retired? Come on, Ray, man. You're not going to be able to walk as an older man, dude.
Well, he
Oh,
can't
dude, he
walk
can-
right now,
He
so
can barely walk now.
No, he needs to retire. I mean, we love him. He's a legend.
I
We
agree.
love Rey Mysterio, but dude, come on. Think about
He's
your
doing it for his son. He's 100%
yeah, I think
doing
it's
it
mostly
son.
for his son at this point.
Yeah.
But he doesn't wrestle very much.
He wants Dom to take the mask.
Oh, that'd be cool. I mean, if he can handle it. But it's just, I feel bad for Ray, man. He's
She is.
serious.
There's
as-
Ben's favorite.
Serious as.
See, Ben lied to you early, Chester. His real favorite's right there with that gold belt
Real.
on her shoulder.
This
Really?
this transgender person here. Okay.
Oh, get out of here!
Insult mommy.
How dare you?
I don't know anything about her. She's obviously a bad guy. She's a heel of some kind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually one of the most talented.
Oh, that
they
looks
have.
like a dude. Come on, Ben. That's a dude.
That's because of the way they're making it. Dude,
Dare
Dude.
when she got went to NXT, she was a cutie, man.
Gorgeous.
That's
And then
a
they
dude.
turn her
Look
into
at the
this
shoulders.
goth-
Look at that's a dude.
They turn her into
She's
this
just
goth
muscular.
No, that's a
No,
dude.
she's one of the only ones who she's brought back sex appeal to the
What?
women in a way that
Andrade.
I'm
What?
being completely honest.
Oh, dude,
In a way
you wanna
that
talk about,
You wouldn't think they would be allowed
came
to.
back. You want to talk about a dude that came back jacked, friggin' when Andrade came back about 6 months ago in AEW.
Yeah, he's huge.
Dude was
Oh,
Yo,
you
Andrade, yeah.
lost track
Yeah.
of what's sexy, my friend.
good
No,
Lord,
no,
that
trust
dude
me,
was
I have
gonna
not.
feel like a tank.
There are a couple
It's
pretty
not
girls
so
here,
much-
for sure. This Katana
It's the way
Chance,
she
that's
carries
that's
herself.
That's a hottie little girl. I like that.
It's the way she carries herself, Chester. You'd have to watch her work.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's
I mean,
You see
Australian.
what I mean?
yeah, if she's fun, I guess. Yeah.
Oh my God, friggin'
Alexis King. I don't know why I didn't spend much time on that. 'Cause
Brian,
that looks like
that's-
the real deal right there. That guy. That guy looks.
That's
real.
Brian Pillman Jr. That's Brian Pillman's son.
Brian
He sucks
Pillman's son.
balls.
Oh, really? Oh.
He's
Yeah.
not very good.
Well, it's interesting to see all this, all these legacy guys. Luke Gallows. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, that's a dude.
Maxine
I don't know.
Dupree. There's a chick that has no.
It's not a dude.
That's a dude. That's a dude.
This guy. You're going to send
Dupree
Ben
is
into a
terrible.
coronary. What you're going to do.
Thundero, look what you doing to my girl. Okay, like, come on.
She's Australian. She's jacked. She's Ben's
She-
kryptonite, is what I'm saying. to you.
She's got cheeks that
absolutely
could
is.
bring world peace.
She could.
She does have
That
cake,
booty-
I'll give her that.
That
Well,
booty
like
is
I
something.
said, she definitely looks like she could bend you over.
That's kind of her
look,
gimmick.
if Rhea wants snoo is happening.
It's gonna happen. You might as well just accept it.
I see.
Oh my God,
I know.
Bobby
But
Roode is still on.
I am. I'm just gonna do it with a big ass Joker grin.
I can't believe Bobby Roode is still on their friggin' roster.
Yeah, no, and of course
Hey,
also Sami
they
Zayn.
wasted my
Really?
boy.
Dude, Sammy's well,
Sammy slander.
Sammy's he did just come back, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Songa, that's the other dude from in this year. That dude right there.
Yeah.
There's Scarlet.
Big
I
old
don't know what
Indian.
I don't know what everybody sees in her other than the tits.
Tits. Yeah.
That's it.
Tits.
Her ass.
Dude, tits.
Whoa! Did I
Looks
just
like a
Shane
woman.
McMahon?
This looks like
Shane
a
McMahon
think
still on the
Shane-
girl.
roster?
I
Not
think
so
Shane is
much.
still officially on the roster. Yeah.
I don't think Shane's.
What?
Is he? Yeah,
Shane.
There he is.
Yeah, technically, I guess he is.
The only McMahon still going in the whole
Yep.
thing. Everyone else is
Yeah,
gone.
list them all. What a son of a
Yeah.
bitch. He did it.
Last
Dude,
man
there's
standing,
reports
Sandaro.
coming out.
Hey,
There's reports coming out that's saying that the reason why he had a falling out with his dad was because of this stuff.
Yep. I can
wouldn't be
believe it.
surprised whatsoever.
I
Yeah.
can believe
Yeah.
that.
Now, you want to talk about
Shane's
someone,
a straight edge dude. He's a straight laced dude.
you
Everybody
want to
said
talk about
that.
someone that looks like a man right there, Shayna Baszler. She's got a face like a
Yeah.
hatchet.
Yeah, she's not an attractive lady. There's
There's
your favorite, Chester Shinsuke. Your favorite. You love Shinsuke.
I hate this guy. This guy sucks, dude.
Dude, his WWE version sucks balls.
He sucks. I hate him.
It does. You
I
would have
don't know.
probably liked him in Japan. He was basically a rock star when he was in Japan.
No.
He was a
it
badass.
awesome.
A lot of the little goofy stuff he even do that there.
Well, I'm glad to see Sheamus is still about.
Oh yeah,
I like
Sheamus is still the man.
Sheamus. I don't
Shotzi
know why
without
there's
hair.
an old lady here. Is she like a manager or something? This Shotzi?
No,
That's an old lady, dude.
She looks
no,
old in that
that's a
picture.
young lady
Sure.
who just wears a bunch of shitty makeup and shaved her head.
Hey Grimlock, mute yourself. Thanks, bro. Whatever he's getting, whatever bodies he's dragging around out there, I
Stephanie
can hear
still
it.
looks pretty good, man. Good for her, man.
I didn't know Steph.
I don't even know
She
why
must be.
she
It
got
must
her
be
on
an
the roster
alumni
there.
thing.
She
Yeah, it's
friggin-
got to be
she
some kind of
friggin'
alumni
left.
thing.
She stepped down.
She bounced. She said, "Nah, I don't want to do with my pervert dad.
Yeah.
I'm out."
Fair enough.
Abandoning her poor
I
husband
ju-
to him.
Dude, I can't get over how big this freaking roster is, dude.
You're still going, bro. You're not even at the end.
It's
Well,
crazy.
here's the thing: a bunch of these people are like behind the scenes people and announcers and stuff too.
Okay, I can see that in some of them. Miz, he's meant to not be liked, but this guy is an absolute worker.
I'll give him credit, man. He's a top mid card guy.
He is a guy that gets other people over, and he does it great. He's important. That type you need.
He's also the type of guy who, very similar to Cody, is he's all in. He's no half measures when it comes to the company. He's there.
Yeah.
If they need him, he's there.
Yeah.
If he can be,
Yeah.
he can be.
Yeah, no, he is absolutely. Titus O'Neil, all right there.
He is too. Titus is another one who's always got. Even when Vince basically tried to fire him for grabbing his arm so he could let the ladies walk in front of him. That's all he did. All it was. He was just trying to be a gentleman, and Vince tried to fire his ass for it. An idiot.
Vince the
yeah.
dick.
Yeah,
Triple H.
total dick. Vacant.
20 years ago should have been a Conan movie, dude.
Why is
Frickin'
Trish
vacant.
status on this?
What is vacant?
It's a joke.
It's
from when they had to vacate the titles a couple times, so
yeah.
it's a joke that Vacant is a superstar.
Oh goodness, Valhalla. You must be with Eric and Ivar.
She is.
Yeah.
She's one of their wives. I don't remember which one.
Yeah, she's married to.
Dude, you guys could do
Eric.
better. You could do better. Why don't you go steal Valentina? Be a proper Viking.
That's
Take
true.
the women
Go get a
you
Spanish
wish.
one.
If they want to sell the Viking,
I have a
should do
crazy
a work with them.
fantasy booking thing where, since Drew apparently is never going to be pushed to the top of the card properly ever again, I think he needs him. He needs him a faction, and we need to stop with this weird Viking shit because it's stupid and nobody likes it, and just let him be War Machine again and let him be the leader of a faction with them in it, because I
He'll
think
never
they'd
do
be
that 'cause
killer
that would
together.
be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if Wade get the credit he deserves.
No.
No, Wade should have been a world champion. No
One of the
doubt.
Yes,
best
this
co-
guy
yeah,
is
and-
another important character.
Yeah.
He's
He's
One
the
of the best color guys ever,
color
too.
guy. Yeah, color commentator now
Yeah.
for SmackDown.
I freaking Wendy Chu. Good God. Can't stand that hag.
There's old Xavier.
Zia Lee.
Xia Li.
That's my
There are
kind.
too many.
Did any of you guys watch the Royal Rumble?
I did.
Okay. Who the freaking hell is this makeup woman putting this nasty eye makeup on them and making them all look ugly as shit?
I don't know.
Xia Li looked
a
like
problem.
a freaking gargoyle.
They do it to
She's
Rhea
actually
too.
she's actually pretty attractive, and they put that.
She's
She looked. Dude, they made Becky look like a freaking corpse.
Well, just so you know, her name would be pronounced Chaya Lee.
Well, they say Xia Li, so.
Yeah, I'm sure
Chaya?
in English.
All
they
right,
say
oh,
Xia.
there he starts. Right there's your guy.
Zion Kin.
Zion Quinn. He's all right.
And I'm
Yeah, there's too
finally
many
at the end.
X's.
No, am I? I'm not. Am I? Okay, I'm at the end. Okay, good.
Yeah, you're at the end. You're there.
Dude, you think that's bad? Go look at AEW's roster.
All right.
Yeah, it's big. It's super stacked.
It's
Too much.
It's two companies.
At least WWE has 3 different shows that air on national television that actually people watch. I'm like AEW's.
Well, it was bad, dude. I watched it and it was really bad.
Wait till you see the
Yeah.
number of belts they have.
Look at this. Look at all these champions. Look at
Look at all
this.
these championship belts.
Sandero, did you see that AEW got outperformed by midget wrestling?
Dude,
I did.
midget wrestling's awesome.
It is awesome. That's pathetic for a national company to lose.
Yeah.
So right
That's
there,
not
there's
good.
there's 8 titles right there. Actually, Eddie's got 2 titles.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Well,
I see
3,
that. Well,
technically.
Samoa
Well, no,
Joe is another real deal wrestler, by the way.
Dude,
Yeah,
when they put the title on him, I was like, that's the first smart move you've made in months.
In years. It's been a while since you made a move
Yeah.
this smart. Right here.
Now I've seen Orange Cassidy wrestle. It's a small man wrestling, but he got something going on. Orange Cassidy.
Dude, he's much more entertaining live than people actually. I'll tell you right now,
Yeah, that's what I've
that
heard.
belt has no business being on this guy. That belt should be on Miro. It should be on somebody else. Pretty much anybody else. Elevate them. This dude does not need that belt. He's not doing any favors. He's not helping it. Get
Orange's problem is his gimmick. His whole gimmick is just played out and dumb. He in the ring isn't terrible. He just has a stupid gimmick and he has stupid ring psychology where he does shit that nobody should do.
Yeah.
So if somebody could just slap some sense into him, he'd be fine, I think.
Why is
By the way,
Christian now called Cage?
That's he has to because WWE
that's
won't
the
let
name
him
he
get
uses
away
when he's
with
not
it.
in WWE. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
All those belts you just
Did you
saw.
see Billy Gunn?
Add 5 more.
I see him. Yeah.
Add 5 more, and that's how many they have in Ring of Honor. So they've got they got like
This Eddie
14,
Kingston
15
looks
belts.
like an idiot. But
Did you
Billy
see
looks good, man. Look at Billy.
Eddie Kingston has like these weird chops that he does that look absolutely ridiculously stupid.
Billy Gunn. Yeah, no,
You know what his
Eddie.
chops are? Eddie's
yeah.
chops are the equivalent of that stupid leg shaking thing that Shinsuke Nakamura does in the corner.
Yes.
Oh God, I can't stand that guy.
Eddie does.
That I wish you would have
version
left
of
in
that.
Japan. Yes.
The fact that
He
they
should have
look
left
so
that in
weak,
Japan.
and he's like hitting himself to make them sound bigger.
Yeah.
Like
Which you're supposed
he's
to
doing
do.
more damage to
You're
himself.
supposed to do, right?
no. You hit yourself like during other moves. You don't hit yourself during a chop.
No, that's true.
No.
Right?
Did you guys ever see that match that he had with Tomohiro Ishii? And Ishii was like, "You want to know how to chop, dude? Let me show you how to chop." And he by the time he got done, Eddie's chest was bleeding.
Dude, sometimes you see schooling going on in the ring. You do.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Tomohiro
learn
Ishii,
today.
this is a fire plug, dude.
There's this clip of Eddie doing rapid fire chop, and it looks like something my 10-year-old son might try to pull on me. It was just so stupid.
Yeah.
Like CM Punk once famously said, the reason why you've never been bigger than you are is because you're a bum. Said it right to his face. And it's true.
It's so true.
King of the bums.
I don't know him at all, so
Exactly.
let's see here. Now AEW is small man wrestling, and that's fine. You have I don't know you, you look familiar. That's Edge. Why is he?
Adam Cole,
It is Edge.
because WWE wouldn't pay him, and they didn't give him the world title run that they promised him, so he left.
Oh, okay. So this is the Adam Page. He was Shield, right?
No, Adam Page is you're thinking about Moxley.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, yeah. Is
No.
he related to Diamond Dallas?
No.
No.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
No, Diamond DDP goes wherever Cody goes. That's his
Yeah.
Well,
almost like a second father for him.
DDP is a good guy, dude.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Great guy.
So's Cody. That's what we're saying
Yeah.
to you. It's ridiculous that The Rock did this
Just because
shit.
I say somebody else is a great dude doesn't mean I'm not saying Cody isn't.
You know,
Get off,
I
dude.
took
Get off Cody.
I took
Get
it
off
to mean
Cody's
that.
dick.
Yeah, you get him, Bob. Oh,
Never.
Look, another
No.
transgender, Angelica.
Listen, if it's good enough for Brandy's beautiful chocolate ass, it's good enough for anybody. All right.
Fair enough.
Dude, my favorite promo that Cody did was that he came out in Ring of Honor and some dude in the crowd goes, "Where's your hot ass wife?" Cody goes, "Oh, you guys want Brandy? What's your Brandy? You don't deserve Brandy."
Brody King, he looks familiar.
He's actually a really good big man. There's like 3 good big men right there on that page. Him,
Yeah, but
Brian
did he
Cage,
used to have
and
a different
Fish
name?
Dawn. No.
No, he just looks like one of the
He
Wyatts a
He
little
looks
bit.
kind of
he
like
does.
one of the
Yeah,
Wyatt
there it is,
guys.
yeah.
He kind of looks like Bruiser Brody.
Hey,
Yep.
Daniel Bryanson or Brian Danielson. You guys are just really clever.
Buddy Matthews.
Oh, that's
he's
his
really
real name.
good.
Yeah, it
Well,
is.
His real
right
name,
there,
Brian Danielson.
That's a tank
Brian
right
Danielson-
there, dude.
dude, Buddy Matthews, that dude got jacked.
That's Rhea's man right there.
That's Rhea's husband, yeah.
Rhea
But dude, I'm gonna tell you something. As far as like his
So he's
ability to perform in the
homosexual
ring,
then.
dude, his ability to perform in the ring, that dude is good. Cash Wheeler, he's good. Jericho's washed up.
Well, I mean, one thing I gotta say about Jericho, at least he didn't, go to the roids for salvation. Good for him.
That's true.
No.
That's true.
Christian
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 man.
Daniels, dude. We already got a Daniels, right?
Yeah, he's that's another guy that's a little too long in the tooth at this point.
Yeah, I just
Claudio's
recognize
pretty good. Claudio's pretty good.
Now he looks familiar too. Did he have another
He
name?
was Cesaro in
Yes,
WWE.
he was. This dude is radically strong, dude.
Dude, he's
Yes.
badass.
I thought it was him. Yeah, no, he's quite an impressive dude.
Oh my
I
God,
saw
man,
this Darby
here's-
Allin. He sucks so bad, so
I can't
bad.
stand Darby. Dude, I'm so over this dude. Friggin' Daniel Garcia, that guy, if he bulked up, if he put on like another 30 pounds, he'd be pretty damn good. Danhausen, I can't freaking stand. The Guns have
Colton
gotten a
Gunn's
lot
good.
better, but still, man.
They need to get the hell out of there. They need to get to NXT.
if they
learn how
need
to
to
do
go
this
to
right.
NXT, yeah.
Have you guys ever
That's,
seen Darby
Billy
Allin
Gunn's son.
fight?
Yes, he
It's
weighs
horrible.
like a $105.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
There he
I
is.
can't stand it. Hey,
There's
Dustin.
Dax. There's my boy, Dax.
He
Dax
gets
is
to
a
be
good one, too.
himself too. That's nice. Dax.
Dax and Cash are FTR. They're pretty much the best tag team in the world, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Eddie, Ethan Page. There's another dude that just doesn't.
There's
get
another
used.
Page. By the
Just
way,
gets
another
shit on is
Page.
Ethan Page.
These aren't related to Diamond Dallas, huh?
No.
Nope.
That's a
Freaking
shame.
Hook, dude. I'm so over Hook. Just
Yeah.
He's
for
another
God's
one.
sake, give this dude a
Yeah.
freaking personality.
He needs to get out of there too. He's young.
Yeah,
Get out of there. Go to WWE and get learned.
Jay
Learned up.
Lethal.
You're right.
He
This
needs,
Jake
yeah,
Hager looks familiar for some reason.
Jack
Yeah,
Swagger.
it's Jack Swagger.
Oh, well, that explains it.
Yep.
Jack Swagger,
Uh,
Jake Hager.
Yeah. Jay.
They're real
That's
clever,
actually
aren't
that's actually
Hey,
his real
there's
name. That's his
There's
real
a
name,
guy who
Jake.
killed AEW, Jack Perry. Look at him. That's
Yeah.
the guy who
The guy
caused it
that,
all.
The guy that destroyed CM Punk's Fragile Ego.
Yep. Broke Punk. Broke
Yeah.
Punk.
And when-
Got
looks a
Punk
bit
to get
bad.
mad.
broke Punk's Fragile Ego with his own Fragile Ego.
Well, two egos collided, and then
I swear.
AEW went down
Jay
the
White.
toilet.
There's another dude that should have gone to WWE.
Yep.
Hmm.
He would have. He's a really, really, really good.
Here you go.
He would have done.
Here
would've
comes
done
the
so
two
much better.
Jeffs.
Well, I love both
Nice,
of them.
Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Hardy, if he, don't do drugs. Okay. Kids.
Don't do them.
Freaking Jeff Hardy, man. This guy could have been one of the biggest legends of all time in wrestling. Of all time.
Yeah.
If he could just
Yep.
put the crack pipe down, Jeff.
Yep.
I'm going to argue just a little bit. He's never been good on the mic. he's great performance-wise,
Well,
but
yeah, you're right.
promo-wise, awful.
You're right. But as
That's
far
why
as
you get a
in
guy like
ring,
CM
dude,
Punk in
freaking
there
Jeff
to
Hardy, dude.
handle that for him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I like Jeff Jarrett. He does the lariat, right?
Mm-mm. He does the super kick.
The super. Are you sure? Who am I thinking of? It does the lariat.
I don't
The
know, but Jeff
lariat?
Jarrett does the. I can't remember what he called the stroke. That's what he calls it.
Yeah,
Where he basically it's the Miz's finishing move, the same move.
yeah. Basically, it's like a front face plant. But
Yeah.
no, the guy who did the lariat. You talking about Stan Hansen?
Yeah, that was old Stan.
Maybe.
Stan the man.
Maybe. Yeah.
Ron
he's been
Bass
gone a
did
while.
it. Ron Bass did it too. I don't
JBL
know.
had the clothesline
Oh,
from hell. Which
JBL.
is still,
There it is.
JBL,
That's what
yeah.
I
still
was
the
in my
best
head.
clothesline
JBL.
ever thrown in the game. Just
Yeah.
absolutely taking heads.
Actually, I saw him do a clothesline on what was his name? Heartbreak Kid there.
Yeah.
The
Shawn
Rockers.
Michaels.
Shawn Michaels. Yeah.
Yeah,
One
they
of
called him the clothesline from hell.
Oh, dude, one of the most devastating I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Sean
Yeah,
stood up
taking
from it
heads.
though. Good for him, dude.
Yeah. The
Taking
only problem with
heads.
JBL is he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. Wouldn't surprise me. Juice Robinson looks kind of familiar too.
Yeah, he's a fun dude. Keith Lee, dude. That's that's one of the things about Tony that he needs to bring somebody else in to book for him. He cannot book big men. He
No.
cannot book big men for shit.
He just ended with that he can't book, and we would have, yeah.
They got a lot of Japanese boys.
He can book his favorites. Well, that's because they stole a lot of these guys from New Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle
Yeah,
Fletcher,
he-
that's another. That's a dude. Him and his tag team partner.
Yeah, but can these
the-
young American kids handle those New Japan guys? I mean, those guys they'll break bones.
They'll
and
kill you.
Cut
Oh,
the
yeah.
skin. You know.
Yeah.
They'll do whatever.
That's why I have a lot of respect for Ospreay because that dude went over there and he thrived.
Hogan did too. Keep that in mind.
He did. He did.
Lance Archer, there's
took
another
his-
big man.
He
that
took
gets
his
booked
beating
shitty.
like a man. Hogan did.
He did, man.
Yeah.
From Stan Hansen, in fact. That match
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah, he had a match with Stan. But
No,
I would
the
just
Japanese
think-
guys in the last, especially the New Japan guys in the last decade or so, they're still much stiffer than most Western
Very.
wrestling.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
But they're not as stiff as they used to. They've
I
lightened
see.
up a lot,
Why-
especially since that guy Katsuyori Shibata nearly killed himself right in the middle of the fucking ring, giving a headbutt.
oh my
Like,
god,
actually.
dude!
Almost killed himself.
Literally had to remove his brain to do surgery
Yeah.
on him.
Jesus.
Yep.
They had to pull
Maybe
it
he
out of
should
his fucking
retire.
skull. He was
He
for a
did.
long time.
He did for years. They finally cleared him again recently.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that those Japanese boys play a lot rougher than these American boys.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
friggin'
So-
Mark. The other Briscoe brothers, man, that's one of the biggest tragedies of the last couple of years.
Why?
Yeah.
His brother Jay they were the tag team, the Briscoe brothers.
Yeah.
Dude, they were awesome. They were like, basically it was FTR was number 1, they were number 2, and they had some freaking banger matches against each other. Some of the best tag team matches I've ever seen. But Jay was killed in a car crash last year.
Oh, that's
They had the lockdown on the redneck.
Oh god, dude, they were and they were not woke.
more
They
than,
got in trouble.
more
They got in
than
trouble
the
for
Road
not
Warriors?
being woke.
No, they were definitely
No.
not woke. No, nobody will
Um,
ever touch the Road Warriors. They're a different level, but
Well, you're
But,
talking about redneck tag team, right? I mean, Road
Yeah.
Warriors.
But
yeah,
unfortunately,
Matt
he got
Hardy,
killed
he
last year.
can't even walk.
Yeah, he's still there.
it's true. He's still trying. He's still hobbling around, making every
Yeah.
match look terrible.
Dude, he can't walk. How you can't put that guy in the ring? What are you doing?
I don't know
Have him
why
on a
he's
mic,
still
maybe. I don't know.
He
about
doesn't need the money. He's got all
No.
kinds of money.
Dude, him
So I
and
don't
Jay both
understand
are
it.
friggin' rich.
I don't understand it. He's just shortening his life is all he's doing.
Yeah.
that. It's weird.
Michael Nakazawa hasn't had a match in 2 years.
Dude,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people on this roster, man. What
There's
the
a lot.
hell is this?
Okay. That guy next to him, Mr. Brody Lee. That's he died. He
died, and they signed his son.
They signed his son for life as a charity
Yep.
thing.
Basically, yeah, to
So,
take care of his family.
but yeah, he died.
So it was a nice thing to do. I don't know if we need him on the roster page though. That's a little.
Well,
That seems
but
a little
That
silly.
suck.
dude,
How did he
Miro,
die? Just typical way a wrestler
he got
dies.
a lung disease. I can't remember what it's called. It was a really
Okay,
fast
that
acting lung
sucks,
disease.
dude.
Yeah, it was bad.
And just took him out.
Where the
Miro,
hell
there's
has
a dude.
Miro been? Yeah, I was about to
Dude,
ask. Where's Miro been?
Tony doesn't know how to book big men.
Tony.
This dude, this
it's
is one of the dudes that
also.
needs to go back to WWE.
I think Miro's also one of those guys who just won't put up with bullshit. He'll just tell you
Yeah.
you're stupid right to your face. And
What so
Tony
you're
can't
telling me
handle that.
AEW is super woke or something?
Oh,
It's super weak, is what it is. It's led by a weak
Tony
man.
Khan is very woke, but
Yep.
it's just
Eh.
Tony is turned into Vince McMahon from like 2015 to 2019.
Yep.
He's
Except
booking
with
for
no skill.
He's booking for a fan. He's booking for a fan of one.
Yeah.
He's got guys that are super talented on his roster, but he only pushes the same 5 or 6 guys, and it's just he needs to give the friggin' gavel away.
Fair. Yeah, because last time I saw it, it was so bad, dude. I saw that. What was that stupid little guy that I was bitching about earlier?
Darby Allin.
Oh God,
Darby Allin,
that
yeah.
guy's so bad. This
Yeah.
Ortiz guy, I swear I kicked his ass in frickin' 82, in 92.
He's actually pretty good. It's just that again, he got into a fight with his tag team partner, and they split up in real life, and
Yep.
he's just like not bookable without him.
He's just in limbo.
Well, he just looks
Yeah.
like a dude I've definitely kicked his ass before in my life.
There's old
Yeah.
Pac.
Órale, vato.
Is Pac hurt or something? Where's he been? I haven't heard anything about him in
He's,
months.
He was hurt. He's
Big
supposed to
Show.
be coming back. Yep.
There he
Paul
is.
White's over there. Parker Boudreaux. There's a real wrestler who's a complete bust.
Yeah.
Penta's good, but they'll never give him the friggin' belt.
Jesus, look at this powerhouse Hobbs guy.
Again.
Yeah.
A freaking
Another one.
monster.
Can he wrestle though?
Big up,
Yes.
yes, big upside. Doesn't get booked well.
Oh, that's
He
shame.
has to get out of there.
All these big dudes need to leave and go to WWE.
Well, here's the thing. Most of the guys that we've mentioned that need to get out of there, well, maybe not most, but a lot of them were CM Punk guys.
Yeah.
And I think now that Punk's gone, I think once their contracts are up, he'll get them where they belong. Down,
Thanks, yeah,
in
some of them are gone.
most of them into NXT, where they need to be to learn how to do WWE's, cinematography, because that's basically what
Yeah.
you learn down there.
Yeah. But here's the thing. The thing is though, like guys like FTR, they get pushed really well. Okay. And Dax is actually a member of the creative team. The problem is Tony doesn't listen to them.
No, that's not good. You got to listen to your people. That's why you hire them. That's the Donald
they're
Trump way.
for.
When Punk was running Collision, and it was in the
Oh, it was
Dax
so
and,
good. That was the
Dax
best
and Bryan
wrestling show I've
Danielson were
seen
in
in
charge.
years.
Yeah, it was CM Punk, Dax Harwood, and Bryan Danielson were running everything over on Collision. It was the best wrestling show on television.
Huh.
Hands down,
Yeah.
bar none.
It was.
The announce team. It was the best announced team in years. Kevin Kelly is the best commentator in wrestling.
agree.
And now they got him playing second fiddle to freaking Tony Schiavone.
Oh,
He's not the greatest commentator of all time.
No, he's
No,
the best
but
working today.
exactly.
Who is the best?
Because JR works when he wants to.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, because
I think JR is going back to WWE soon too.
Yeah, here was the commentator team on there. It was Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness who was doing color commentary, and Nigel really found his niche there. And then they would bring in JR to do the main event with him.
It's pronounced niche.
Oh, listen to this guy.
But he and then as soon as the whole thing happened with Punk and Andy, Tony went over there and just completely destroyed it.
I got a question.
Yep.
Who's your favorite black wrestler of all time?
Oh, that's a question.
The Rock.
That
He's
is a
not
question.
black. You don't.
Don't tell him that.
That don't count.
Listen, the blacks literally disowned him when he tried to play John Henry. All right, he might not have the card anymore.
I know. That's a tall order, man.
It is.
I loved but before Vince.
I
got
have
a
the
hold
right
of him
answer though. I'm just seeing if you guys can be right.
Before Vince got a hold of him and turned him to shit, Junkyard Dog was awesome.
Dude, you and I are best
was
friends.
The man.
Yeah.
JYD was the man.
JYD, when he was when he was in the AWA, and dude, that guy was a monster.
I love Junkyard Dog, dude. He was so great. Every time he came on, it just lit the screen up, man.
Yeah,
It
another
was-
guy. Yeah, or like another guy close for me would be Iceman King Parsons.
Oh, okay. Ben, what do you think?
I'll throw you. Oh, go ahead, Ben. It is Black Month. It is African American blah
Is
blah
it?
blah month. So
I have no
yeah,
clue.
it's February.
I know the right answer is Junkyard Dog, but
It
I
is.
really like Bobby Lashley.
I like
mean,
Bobby too.
It-
Yeah.
Bobby's a good dude.
he's just like he's a phenomenal athlete and
And
still
a real
he's-
fighter too.
yeah, a real fighter. He got a better record than like Brock Lesnar does, right?
Yeah.
And so like he's everything. And,
Yeah, no,
and
Bobby's cool, dude. I like Bobby. But the
they
thing
need to
with
stop trying to make him a heel, though. That's the thing. No, he's not a heel.
they're making him a heel. That's weird. But no, Junkyard. The thing with Junkyard Dog, he could walk out, not say a damn word, and just pop
That's right.
like crazy, dude.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Oof,
Yeah,
oof,
I agree.
oof.
Good. All right, you ready
How
for my
badass is that
answer?
team
It's a
Yes, I'm
curveball.
waiting. I'm waiting.
Best,
It's a
best team
curveball.
ever would be the best team ever would have been him and friggin' Scott and Rick Steiner, man.
Rick
out there
Steiner,
barking.
yeah.
Just wolfing at each other.
Yeah.
It's a curveball because at some point in the early '90s, the man, the myth, the legend, Booker T gave him the N-word pass. So I got to go with Hulk Hogan because he's
Oh,
officially in the
fine.
club. Because I'm just kidding. No, the actual answer is Booker T. Booker T's the shit. I love Booker T. Always did love Booker T. Loved him in WCW. Loved him as King Booker.
He's
He
useful.
was sorely underused.
He's very useful.
Yeah,
I like even him better as a commentator, to be honest with you.
He's pretty. He's all arounder.
Yeah.
Old Booker T.
How about you, Grimlock?
Hulk Hogan.
Grimlock?
Is he there? Did we lose him?
Trying to figure out how to work the mute button.
No,
Did someone mute him?
No, I didn't. He's not muted on the thing. He might have stepped away.
Oh, okay.
He's muted in Discord. It was asked to mute him because he was dragging bodies or something through the
Dude, I'll tell you another.
Oh,
great.
he is. Let me see if I can. No, he's not muted. No, he's
Couple,
muted.
he's got
couple
himself.
other
He's muted him.
couple
Yeah.
other great black wrestlers: Ron Simmons and Butch Reed.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, that's
Simmons-
true. Yeah.
Ron Simmons was probably going to be my number 2. His run in WCW before even as Farouk, but before he became Farouk was phenomenal.
Yeah,
back
I
in
hated
that-
that name they gave him though, Farouk. That sucked.
Yeah, it was a
Dude, when they were the tag team as Doom,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
and the
You know-
APA was just fun. We don't have a lot of like our truce out here killing it is just fun. We don't have a lot of guys that are just fun. APA was
Yeah.
just fun.
That's
Fun
true.
to watch.
Well, I would throw another name in the ring, and you guys might not like it, but I've always loved Kofi, man.
Kofi's on the list.
Kofi's one of the best high flyers of all time.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Kofi, man. He's fun. He seems like a nice guy. He's the kind of guy you can sit
Yeah.
down
He
and have
seems
a
like
beer
a-
with.
Yeah, like just a good dude. Like
Yeah, he
he
seems
doesn't
so.
seem like he's gonna stab you in the back. He's not gonna, he's not one of those type of guys. Everybody seems to like him. I'm gonna tell you right now,
Big E.
one that's going right now. If he can also get out of AEW and get back to WWE, is Swerve Strickland. If Swerve can get out of
Swerve?
AEW, he could be
Well-
something special.
To be fair, WWE shit all over him,
Yes.
and he left there, and he is killing. He is actually doing really well in AEW. But yeah, like as soon as he's done, I'd be back over in WWE.
Yeah,
I think he's got everything you need. He can talk. He can work. He's got aura coming out of every orifice like you wouldn't believe.
And take Nana with him.
Yeah.
fair. Well, this Satnam Singh here, I'm looking at, and I know he was in WWE.
No, he
I can't
wasn't.
remember his character name, but I always
No,
felt
he
he was. Are you sure?
No,
You're thinking of
He-
somebody else. Yeah, no, it wasn't
you're
him.
thinking of somebody else.
Yeah, but
He's a
I always thought
giant.
he was
Yeah.
mishandled.
Yeah, Satnam Singh is like a talentless giant dude.
Oh, okay. No, I'm
He's
not talking
big.
about. I'm talking about an Indian guy, but he wasn't a giant. He was,
Mhm.
normal.
Yeah, you're talking about the Great Khali.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm talking. About,
Jinder? You talking
yeah,
about Jinder Mahal?
Jinder Mahal. Yeah. no, I think if he was just handled really badly.
You mean the man, the myth, the legend,
That's right.
Jinder
That's right.
Mahal?
That's right.
Dude, he
The
actually
Indian
has
goat.
in-ring skill. He does.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
You
When
are
was the last time you
high.
saw him wrestle?
No, that guy is a perfect get you over. He's like a Miz type character.
No, Miz is 10 times more talented than Jinder Mahal
Well, that
is.
might be true, but am I thinking about Jinder? He's a pretty boy, right?
No. We must be thinking about two different people.
Jinder looks jack. He's a big jack dude.
Yeah,
No,
He's a
I'm,
beast
the
now.
guy I'm
Jinder
thinking
just
of
big.
was pretty. He was a pretty boy.
You're
pretty
talking about
Indian boy.
Mustafa Ali?
Maybe I can't remember, but he had some in-ring skill, but they handled him badly. The guy I'm thinking about.
They took a crap on Ali.
Yeah.
They don't. The Indian wrestlers have a little bit of a case that they're overlooked because they don't get over in WWE for anything. It's crazy. I mean, yeah, he had Khali there, but he was Vince's toy.
Big.
That's all he was.
Yeah, he's just big.
Yeah.
He was the only person on that.
Sting
Yep.
is what, 68?
62.
He's
and he's
retiring in what is it, March? I think.
in March
Final
4th,
match.
I believe.
Yeah, his final match is in March.
He's just there to push Darby. That's all he.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
I
much.
see.
And then they brought in Ric Flair to hang out with him for a couple months.
Did you guys ever see Sting when he was the man?
Oh shit,
Yes.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think that if except for the final leg of it, the story of NWO versus Sting was the best story. It just was told poorly at the end. If they had landed the execution of and a lot of that was Hogan being an idiot. If they had landed the execution of that ending, it would probably be considered the greatest story
about
ever.
like right before he got hurt, and
Right.
And he was out in WCW for a while, and then he came back as Crow Sting. He got off the gear, and I think he was actually a better. So he lost some size, obviously.
Yep.
I think he was a better wrestler when he got off the gear because he could move better.
Yeah, he had more speed.
Yeah,
more explosiveness.
Alan said Sabu.
It's a shame that Sting, Sabu, but he never got over in WWE. Really, like he never really went anywhere for them.
I think it was I think it was the because he's a pretty boy Indian wrestler, and he.
Back in the day when you were watching, Jinder was a different beast. He was a tall, skinny, lanky guy. I think he even had long hair or something. He was part of that three-man band group. Yeah, he was a different guy. He reinvented himself, and now he's a literal just walking muscle. He's humongous.
Oh, I see. Yeah. This Blade guy looks familiar to me for some reason.
I don't know why.
Do I know him under a different name?
Kind of look like Tommaso or something.
He does look like Tommaso.
Yeah, with that beard, he does kind of look like Tommaso.
Yeah.
I don't know. He looks familiar.
But all five of those guys are actually really good wrestlers, and none of them are used well, except for Strickland now.
Yeah, Strickland needs to get out of there, mend the fences he needs to mend, and get himself on a bigger stage because he is a star. He is.
Tony,
and I've been saying that for 2 years. I'm like, what are we doing with this guy? What are we doing?
Yep.
There he is.
Will Ospreay. This Wardlow guy, I remember hearing his name a lot for some reason.
Yep.
Another
one
big
they
man
fumbled.
who started getting over, and then Tony completely shit the bed with him.
So this guy's just a horrible manager. So we're just this is a vanity project, is what you're telling me?
It turned into it. Yeah. Once Cody left, it was downhill from there.
Okay.
Yep.
So just burning money for.
Once the adult in the room left, it just went downhill from there. Pretty much.
What we got?
They're still making.
I don't need
AEW
any
still
of this
making
shit.
money.
Well, go away. Okay.
Okay.
You are literally you and Jim Cornette would get along just fine.
Yeah, we would. You get this shit out of here. Put him in the corner.
Get these women out of here.
Show your tits. Go away.
I will say this. There are some very, very, very pretty women.
I'm sure they're pretty, and I'm sure they're even talented. But I don't know. Let me ask you a question. Right?
Yeah.
Now, if we're going to go watch figure skating, would you rather watch the girls or the boys?
The girls.
The women.
Damn right. And there are other examples like that. But if you want to go watch basketball, you want to watch the boys or the girls?
Nobody wants to watch.
No one wants to watch.
Not even the girls. Always Sunny in Philadelphia had a whole show about this. A whole episode about how nobody watches women's sports because nobody gives a shit.
No, there are some women's sports that are superior, right?
Well, yes, but I mean they're more
wrestling. It's combat sport.
As athletic as figure skating is, and I won't take that away from them ever. It's still just dancing.
Yeah,
That's what they're doing. They're doing it on ice. So
with
when
very
we're
short
talking, when I think
skirts,
of
which I
sport,
appreciate.
I think of physical back and forth competition, right? Not judges stuff. I know technically it's a
No, I
sport,
get your
but
point, but I'm just
yeah.
saying, no, no.
I guess it depends. Which division is Rhea competing in?
Oh,
That's
fair.
the one I'll.
All
Yeah.
right, well, okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you one,
And
Ben. You get
and
one.
I'll tell you right now, Chester, if you watch a Rhea match, if you watch Rhea and Charlotte at WrestleMania, you will like that match. It is a phenomenal wrestling match. Not a phenomenal women's wrestling match, a phenomenal wrestling
So
match.
you're telling me I
Rhea
have
Ripley
to.
and Charlotte Flair.
So basically, what you're telling me is I need to either watch that or go watch a big man versus big man match because they're both about the same speed.
No, I promise you it's not. Rhea especially wrestles like a guy. Honestly, she moves at the same. She's better than
Well, she
most of the
looks
men
like a
on the
dude.
roster.
You're not helping
Well,
your
she's-
argument, man.
I know, that's why I didn't want to say it, but it's true. She actually genuinely is. And I agree with you most of the time. Most of the time, I just skip right through the women's matches because they're boring. They're not. It's
Yeah,
like
they're
watching
boring.
slow-paced wrestling. It's slow
Although
motion.
I'll give them credit,
Rhea
they have
isn't that.
leveled up from the 80s and 90s though. Because they used to be just
Uh,
literally there
in
for
America, they
TNA.
have.
Well, they were
In
just
I
kids,
Japan, they
but
haven't.
now they
They've
do
gone
wrestle.
down, in
So,
my opinion.
yeah.
I will say it is funny watching Rhea wrestle other women because you can see how frustrated she gets because
Yes.
they're not as
They can't
good.
keep up with her. Yeah,
They can't keep up with her. Like the last match I saw, you could see her. She was legit getting frustrated because the other woman was just so bad. Because she is truly phenomenal. She's really good at what she does, and because and that's why the Charlotte match was so good, right? They're both on that level, but
All right, fine.
you can see the frustration with her when she
I
wrestles other people.
can't wait to see her versus friggin' Nia Jax and just the absolute shit show that's gonna be.
It's gonna be it. I'll give Nia
God.
credit. She's better than she was.
Not
By
by
far.
much, dude. Do you watch you in the Rumble? Every elimination that she did, I thought she was gonna freaking hurt somebody.
Well,
It's like, oh my god.
well, there's always going to be a chance of that. Her size is going to make that happen.
No, she's just she doesn't understand when you do a move to somebody, it's not you putting the momentum behind it, it's them.
That's true.
That's why she keeps hurting people. She's so
thing I
big
think
and strong, she just
she
doesn't
got
understand it.
she got coached on when she started doing the bonsai drop when she came back. The first couple times she did it, she let go of the top rope and landed full force right on the girl's chest. I'm like, she's gonna kill someone.
Hurt somebody,
You can't be doing that. And now she doesn't do that. Now she hangs onto the rope. Somebody told her, "Whoa, you're gonna hurt somebody for real here."
Yeah.
My wife hates the outfits that Nia Jax wears, and she was like, "Why do they dress her like that?" And I was like, "You realize the wrestlers have a lot of say in how they dress, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's picking that. That's not what she's being told to wear. Like, she's choosing to wear that stuff."
Yep.
Yeah, she's choosing to look like a freaking neon.
I don't know if they're gonna do Nia and Rhea though, because I mean the story they've been telling is Nia and Becky.
Do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm watching this match you guys are talking about, and you know, to be fair, it's better than most female stuff I've seen, but honestly, it's slow as shit, dude. It's slow, lumbering.
Hated to its core. I appreciate
it's
it.
like, you know, Big Show versus Hulk Hogan is what it is.
Now wait a minute. Which Big Show are we talking about? Because young Big Show can move.
Not old Big Show. Slow. Okay, we'll go to the Great Khali versus
not that. No, that's unfair.
Man, you're just mean.
No, it's not that slow. It's not that slow.
You know, one thing with Vince being gone, I'm glad we won't have to endure anymore, is his weird fascination with big giant guys who can't move. Because holy crap,
Omos.
man!
Freaking Omos.
I forget what was the name that dude he put in like a gorilla outfit, like.
Giant Rodriguez
Giant
or whatever his name was. Gonzalez.
They call him the Yeti.
It was so ridiculous.
Poor Undertaker had to work with that idiot, that lumbering oaf.
Did you ever hear when Chris Jericho was talking about that, and because Jericho had to put over Fandango.
Yeah,
and he was pissed. And he's like, "Dude, I've never worked."
I was pissed.
This guy's a freaking idiot. And he's like, and he's talking. He was talking to Taker, and he goes, "I don't know what to do." So what should I do? And he goes, "Do it." It's your job, man. Go out and put the
Right.
dude over. He's like, yeah. He's like, all those matches I had at WrestleMania. You think all of them were good? Half of them sucked.
Well,
Half of them
I'm
suck.
watching
That's
the
true.
match I'm looking at is Ripley versus Flair.
Mhm.
And to
Is
be
it from
honest,
WrestleMania?
the Ripley girl looks to be way more athletic. This Flair girl is awful. She's just awful.
Charlotte. Yeah,
So
Charlotte.
if
She's not on Rhea's level. She's not. I
yeah,
agree
it's
with that.
awkward. It's
Well, not
awkward.
anymore. She's definitely not
No.
anymore.
Well, no, because you
What
can
they
tell
need and
that
what they
the
haven't done
Ripley
yet
girl is
is
having the whole back, and she's like
yes.
carrying the girl. She's literally
Now
carrying her.
imagine most of the girls are way worse than Charlotte. Way worse. So Rhea
yeah.
literally has to stutter step half the time in the match.
Oh my
because
God,
And she's
she
doing
has
it.
to
I
hold
see her
back.
doing it already.
Yeah.
She has to
Yeah.
hold back because she doesn't want to be like a Nia Jackson, hurt the other women. But
Right.
like you can tell like she gets frustrated because she wants to have like a harder match, and she can't do that.
You might want to put her against dudes because they could help carry her. It'll be
there
safe.
was
right?
a lot of talk about it. There was a lot of talk about it for a while last year because she was just so head and shoulders above the rest of the girls. I don't think we'll ever do that in WWE though. I just don't see it.
Yeah, she's a little because she already gets compared to China a lot, and she doesn't want to go that
she's
route.
way better than China.
Yeah, she can actually wrestle. China was just big. China couldn't wrestle,
and a lesbian.
Well, not sure what that has to do with anything.
Surprisingly straight.
No, she's a lesbian. Dude,
no, she wasn't.
Dude,
she was straight. I promise you.
Her famous scandal was with her pornography, and they were lesbian porn.
Yeah, that's because she got paid.
Right,
not because she actually. It was there's a lot of straight guys who do gay porn.
Oh no,
I say they're gay.
No,
but they say they're not. So.
No.
It's called gay for pay.
No,
Chester.
No.
Okay, hey, Chester. That's what Rhea looked like.
Screen.
Yeah, that's what Rhea looked like before.
She was cutie. What did they do to her?
They turned her into a giant lesbian goth chick.
One of the things they do now, and
somebody
mentioned this earlier. One of the things they do now is they put on way too much makeup on these girls. It's ridiculous. So you'll see Rhea outside of here, outside
That's
of
when
WWE.
they started doing it right there.
Yeah. And you'll just see her in normal makeup or even no makeup, and you're like, that's a totally different girl. She's way prettier, way more feminine. Because what they do with the makeup is they accentuate her cheekbones and her jawline so much that she looks more masculine. I don't know why they do that.
She's on way too many steroids, dude.
She's only 26 years old, too, man.
Yep. 26.
She's really young.
Rhea.
That's what so this is her when she was 16. She started when she was 16. She looks way, but she's a much prettier girl back then.
And you know what's crazy? Even though she's all muscled out, she's super super feminine. If you see her, especially with her husband, whatever he is,
right.
I've seen them together in different things, like just out and about.
Right.
Like people got pictures of them or whatever, and that's her man. She's 100% a girly girl around him. You can see it, like how she carries
obviously,
herself.
And she's a character in the ring, obviously. Yes. But yeah, it's too slow for me, dude.
Yeah. She needs someone to work with. I think if we ever get, which I don't know how it hasn't happened yet, but if we ever get a full-on feature main event Bianca Belair in her match, that might be the best women's match of all time. Yeah. Honestly. Well, no, they both are supremely athletic.
I don't like big guy wrestling. I've never been a big fan of it. I mean, I love to see Randy, and he's about as big as I want to see go. Dolph Ziggler is one of the best sellers of all time. I like the middle range guys, I guess. The little ones, I mean, sometimes, but
it really, in all honesty, the only person who seems to be madly and totally in love with giant men is Vince McMahon.
Yeah, no,
because I think most people agree with you. I mean, look at the biggest, besides Hulk Hogan when he was at his biggest, which he was roided out of his mind. The biggest guys weren't giants. They were big, but they weren't giants. Like The Rock's a pretty big guy. He's way bigger than he was when he was full time. But Austin is just a normal athletic guy, normally sized athletic guy. He was just muscled out.
Right.
He's not like a huge dude.
6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, like 6'2", 6'3". That's pretty average for a football player, right? Which is where he was a state or a college football player. That's pretty normal size for an athlete at that caliber.
6'2", 250.
So, yeah, and those aren't giant men by any stretch of the imagination, and they're the biggest stars of all. Ric Flair, not a giant man, one of the biggest stars of all time. So it's really only Vince McMahon who had that fetish for the Giants, and I
Yeah, no,
don't.
he did.
It comes from. I think a lot of it. We make the homoerotic jokes, and maybe that's some of it. But it was Andre the Giant because he knew Andre when Andre was at his peak, and he was such a draw for that company.
He
He
was.
just kind of stuck with him. He never got away from the
There are
idea
a
that he
lot of big
needed a
dudes
new
that were a
Andre.
draw. I
Yeah.
mean, I lived through. You guys have seen the shadow of it, but I lived through
Yep.
the Ultimate Warrior,
Oh yeah, I
and
remember Warrior.
he wasn't a very good wrestler at all.
No.
No, he was
Um,
not.
But the pop, dude, the pop.
Yeah,
I mean,
undeniable.
I was in the ring during a what do they call when they're not on the TV?
Dark match.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, a
dark
dark match.
a
Yeah.
house show.
A house show,
match.
yeah, house show. I was at a house show, and had pretty good seats.
Yep.
And I was, Hulk Hogan went by that day. Andre the Giant went by that day. Maybe even Macho, Blue Beetle, not Blue Beetle,
Blue Blazer.
Blue Blazer.
Owen Hart.
Thank you. Blue
Blue Beetle.
Blazer.
Like, wait a minute. What was this
No,
show?
sorry, you know what I mean. But I'm sitting on the edge of the I didn't know, but I was happy but it was their path in, right? And I
Yeah.
was right on the edge of the row, so they were all coming. I mean, Andre would walk right past me, right?
Oh yeah.
It was cool. It was a great seat, but they the back in those days they didn't have entry songs. It was before that, right? But you would still get music pops here or there for things. And then they had that kind of whirl music that Ultimate Warrior would come into. So I don't know, maybe he and Sergeant Slaughter are like the first ones to have entry music. I don't know, but
No,
whatever.
Sergeant
Hogan.
Slaughter. Yeah, he started the entry music. Sergeant Slaughter did.
But Warrior had something too. I remember it wasn't song.
He did.
It was like a whirl. But whatever. That goes off. The crowd just starts, instantly erupting, and he just ran right past me. First of all, he's huge.
Yeah.
I didn't
Walking
realize how
muscle.
tall he was. Right.
Yep. Big man.
He went past me at about 88 miles an hour. Um, into the ring, and of course everyone jumped out of the ring, and he's going around doing all the 4 rope shaking like he did, right? And the crowd just, I mean, oh my God, the pop, dude! It's the biggest one I've ever seen live, right?
Yep.
Myself. Now I imagine Undertaker probably gets a bigger pop, but damn,
Probably.
Ultimate Warrior, dude. I mean, because he was a shit wrestler. I don't know if you ever seen him wrestle. He was horrible.
Oh, I have. One of my I was just telling Grimlock about this last night. One of my very first memories as a human person. My whole family, I don't know how it happened because we were poor as shit when I was a little kid, but my whole family had front row seats to a house show here in town. This was during your that time frame. I was real little, maybe like 3 or 4 years old. So it was during that time frame you're talking about. Andre was on the show, Hogan was on the show, my boy Macho Man was on the show. And Andre the Giant was in the main event with somebody, probably Hogan, because it was right around that time. I don't remember who. And he got knocked. He went out of the ring and got knocked into the railing in front of us. And this was old WWF with those metal rails that aren't nothing.
Yeah.
So that big son of a bitch fell right on me and my father's lap, and I'm a little tiny kid. He just fell right on us. Is what basically happened, and I remember that to this day.
For life.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll never forget it, bro.
Yeah,
It was so
Actually,
cool.
the entrance music didn't become a thing, really a thing. Some people used it off and on, but it wasn't until the Fabulous Freebirds.
Yeah, Freebirds.
Until it became like everyone started using it with Bad Street.
Oh,
Vince never innovated anything. He just copied it. That's all.
Yeah, and that's fine.
He was just a copy.
But yeah, no, because I remember, when I started seeing music intros, and I think Ben's right. I think it was Sergeant Slaughter originally. But then again, very quickly after that, I guess because it got popular, Hogan had one, and I mean, it just started going. Everybody started.
Well,
getting
Hogan's like his famous theme song. That actually, Real American. That was actually made for Paul Orndorff.
Oh, was it?
Paul Orndorff used it for a little while before that, and then he got hurt, and I think Hogan took over it, and that it became his ever since.
Hogan said, "I'll be having that."
Eye of the Tiger.
Well, because before that, usually you would see music at the end of the match, right? Then that music would kick off in the
play them out. Yeah, play him
Yeah,
out.
And
Big
I've
interim
seen
stuff.
Hulk in the ring to real. I'm a real American, or whatever the song is called, doing his hand circle ear thingy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, old Hulkster.
Well, he could
But
rile a
See, here's
crowd,
the
dude.
thing. Here's the problem I have. We're going to go back to modern day real quick. There's another argument. I use that word loosely. People keep saying on the internet about why Roman needs to keep being champion, even though he's been champion for
ugh,
3 years, is to
Yeah,
quote
yeah.
beat Hulk Hogan's record
nobody
for
gives a
the
shit.
nobody. It's third place. That's not a record. You
Yeah.
don't get to call it a record when it's third place. I'm sorry. You don't get the bronze medal doesn't count.
Who
All
holds
right,
the
we're
record?
not
Yeah,
doing that.
yeah, because Backlund and
Undertaker,
San
right?
No,
No.
Backlund and San Martino are both going to be ahead of him, and there's no way
Yep.
he's going to beat San Martino because he'd have to keep it for another 4 years.
Yeah. So for the
Oh, I
longest
was
title
thinking of
reign in
WrestleMania.
WWF,
Sorry.
No.
yeah, the longest title reigns in WWF. He's what, number 4 right now.
He's number
Roman
4,
is.
he's number 3.
Hogan's
Beckland's
number
2.
3, Backlund, and then San Martino,
Yeah, it's got to be
who
one of the
had
old
2
dudes
really
like
long.
Backlund. Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, and
Yeah, back in the old
there's
territory days.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people who want him to, beat Hogan's record because they hate Hulk Hogan, and that's just so dumb because it's not even a
nothing
record. It's
Yeah.
a third place. Like, you want him to here, just have third place. No, thank you. I'm all right.
Well,
It means nothing.
When I was a kid, there were many. You said back in the old territory days, there were many wrestling on TV. It wasn't just WWF.
Oh yeah.
And for me as a kid, when I was a little kid, I was a WCW guy. Right?
Yeah.
I love WCW. And there was another one. There were 3 I saw on the TV all the time: WWF, WCW, and there was one more, like in the late 70s, early 80s. I can't remember the name of it.
Where do you remember where it was based out of? Because I can probably tell
I
you.
felt like maybe Texas.
If it was Texas, it was WCCW, which was the Von Erichs.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. There it is. Boom. Von Erichs. Yeah, because I was a huge Von Erich fan. Of course, I was a kid and I had no idea what drugs and
Have you seen
abuse
the Iron
were.
Claw? Is it out there yet? Is it over in Japan
No,
yet?
I know. But I'm going to check it out when I can, though.
You need to.
Because
Good
I
movie.
loved the Von Erichs when I was
Yeah.
a kid, man. I used to do the claw on my brother's head all the time.
I do it to my wife sometimes. Joke. Not obviously, I don't do it hard, but I do it.
Oh
Just,
no, I did
playing
as hard
around
as I
with
could. Yeah, I wanted to see
it. Well, pop that head like a cherry.
But no,
I'll tell you right now, you get somebody with a real grip, that fucking hurts. You
I
actually get
imagine
somebody
it
in them
does,
temples.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I did see a movie, and I got to go because I got to go to work. But I did see a movie yesterday. I watched with my wife. It finally came where I could see it in. I don't like watching cams, right?
Yeah.
So I always wait for the Blu-ray to drop. The Beekeeper.
Blu-ray.
Oh my
I
god.
hear that's good. I hear it's
Dude.
good. Now it's a Jason Statham movie,
Yep.
so we know what it is.
Yep.
But I hear
That's
it's pretty good.
I love the simple B popcorn brain dead movie of Jason Statham, and
He's the
especially
man.
when it's with Guy Ritchie. It's fun. It's just fun,
The man in
right?
it.
But this
The movie we
Beekeeper is
didn't
an
talk
actual
about-
movie, dude.
Because we got talking about this wrestling fiasco. But the movie we need to talk about that's coming out very soon here has both of my boys in it, and I have to see it because it's also directed by Guy Ritchie. Did you see the trailer? I put it in the chat, Chester. We'll have to watch it next. We'll watch it and talk about it next week more. But it's got Henry Cavill. It's got Reacher in it. He's just Reacher from now on. That's his name. And it's directed by Guy Ritchie, and
Yeah,
it's
I
called
saw
the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
It.
Oh,
it looks
I'm
fun.
excited for that.
It looks
That
good.
looks like a good time.
It looks
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks fun. You know what else looked fun, and it shocked the hell out of me? Jake Gyllenhaal's Roadhouse. Dude, it looks
See,
fun.
I'm confused
Okay,
about
I'm
this
leaving.
movie.
Bye.
You scared him off with the Jake Gyllenhaal. I can't do it.
Dude, no, because I understand that. I love the original Roadhouse, right? But
Yeah.
it looked good, man.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem. Swayze's a special cat,
He is.
and
No,
I
you're
just
right.
don't. I don't know if you can
Yeah.
replace him with Jake
No, I
Gyllenhaal.
agree.
I don't know if you can.
But I'm just saying, it's not that movie. They did their own thing, but it just
Yeah.
looked fun. It could just be a good
I like
trailer.
Jake. I think Jake is one of the most underrated actors they have going. He's phenomenal whenever he wants to be. But Swayze was special. He was just one of the. He
Yeah,
was
no,
just
you're right.
infinitely cool. He
You're
just had an infinite reserve of cool, and you can't replace. You can't learn it. You
Okay.
can't be taught it.
Well,
You just have it or you don't.
well,
And Jake doesn't have it.
no, that's true. It's a different kind of guy, but it looks like a different movie. We'll see. It could just be a good trailer.
Yep.
However, seeing as Bob left early, and I'll go
He
ahead
bounced.
and assign everyone their two Wanfu with love characters.
Oh,
Of course,
no.
I would be Patrick Swayze in a dress.
Of
But
course, yeah.
I'm going to give Bob Chi-Chi. He gets Chi-Chi. That's
Oh,
what you get,
boy.
Bob. That's what you get.
Poor Bob.
Now you're Chi-Chi.
I did want to mention that we started talking about the wrestling thing with the
I'll let Ben
the
be
what's
Wesley.
been called
No, that wouldn't be right to
what's
Grimlock. He's the
what's
urban
been
knight.
called the woe movement on Twitter, which I think is silly. That's what they're calling it.
What?
The Cody movement to get Cody his main event back. It as of just now, I just refreshed it. Is still this is the second full day now. 354,000 tweets going right now, still trending.
Wow.
So it's not going away.
It
Is
sounds
my
like it
point.
pissed you guys off. Yeah.
It did. Because Chester, I have this very love-hate relationship with pro wrestling. I want to love it, but it has not loved me for a very long time.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
And in the last couple years, they've been getting it right, and it's been freaking nice to be able to just be a wrestling fan again. Not have to worry about nonsense. Not have to worry about somebody's stupid ego. Just get to enjoy wrestling. And The Rock comes in, and he's doing all kinds of Vince McMahon bullshit that nobody wants. Nobody wants. And it really pisses me off. Because, as I just told you, one of my very first memories is a wrestling memory with my family. It matters to me. It's not just, crazy one. It's not just nothing to me.
Ultimate Warrior.
So I really hope that the powers that be change their mind. If they do the audible they need to do, they probably won't, but I hope they do, because me as a lifelong wrestling fan, I'm gonna say it. I deserve it. Damn it, sick of it. I'm sick of looking at wrestling and going, ugh, just ugh. Not even mad anymore. Just tired.
We wanted long-form storytelling, and they set up long-form storytelling, but you can't set it up and then completely piss on all of it by doing.
That's true.
If he was injured or something, we could totally understand. But all it looks like is you're stealing Cody's spot after he's worked for 2 years to set this up, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, no.
For a match that's going to suck. Everybody knows it's going to suck. It's not going to be a good match.
The Rock got gassed doing a 2-second squash on Jinder. Like, he's not, he doesn't have
50 years old.
Yeah,
Like,
so it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, well, we'll keep an eye. I do need to go check out a couple of wrestlers though. I haven't watched in a while. It's just I watched that Darby dude a while back, and I just like nope. Nope.
The only thing I like that Darby does is I like the fact that he's small enough he can fully commit to a dive. So he actually throws his whole body weight into it. But it's just because he only weighs 110 pounds. So who the hell is he going to hurt?
But that's like this whole stick he does all the time. And you're just like, okay, you just want to die. Is like, you're going to be in a wheelchair by the time you're in the late 20s.
Well, it's not just the ring stuff. His mic work.
Oh yeah, it's not good. He can't talk.
He can't promo worth shit, dude. It's the lamest thing. Freaking, we're talking about Warrior. Warrior's a better promo guy than him. That's not good, dude.
In Warrior, his promos were insane. That was an insane man.
You understand?
Like, if you showed that to a psychiatrist, he'd be like, "Whoa, what the hell?"
Dude, I remember one episode of what was it? Roddy Piper had a little show on the on the show.
Piper's Pit.
I remember Warrior coming up from the side and just doing his barking that he did, and Roddy actually saw the opportunity for humor and he translated for us. I remember that. It was great.
There'll never be another Piper, bro. Never. He was
so
the
great.
man.
Yeah.
He was the man.
Anyway, I got to go, guys. I'm going to be late. But that
go
was
to work,
fun.
Chester.
God, I will.
So,
yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Later.
Later, everyone.